actually got the ball.
Yes, everybody, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur. Welcome back to Tottenham Hotspur. On a Monday night, we're playing against Nottingham Forest. We're hosting them at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and it's time to spoil Nuno's party. This Forest team are desperate for European football. They still have a chance of clinging on to some Champions League hopes, but potentially Ange Postecoglou and the Spurs team could ruin them. I think they're now 2 losses in a row. We could make it 3 for them. That would be a lot of fun, as well as also for ourselves to gather some type of momentum and confidence ahead of our more important game against Bodo Glimt in May. But we also have a game, of course, against Forest the next week, or not against Forest, against Liverpool the following weekend. Hard to know what sort of expectations there are for that game. So this is maybe a good chance for Spurs to pick up another win, keep the high going, keep the happy clapping vibes going. And right now, I think Dave and I are just Vibes FC with Tottenham Hotspur. We're just looking forward to seeing 11 players out there put in a good performance and see if they can grab a win, or at least just, again, show what they are capable of, so that we can have some confidence going into some of the more important games later on down the road. There are a host of changes that Ange Postecoglou made. I do believe it is exactly 5 changes that he has made to the starting lineup. But Dave, how are you feeling, going into this game? I mean, it's nice that it doesn't have to be as stressful as the Frankfurt game, but I think we're still hoping for a win.
Yeah, of course we're hoping for a win. At the end of the day, Jack, I don't like the idea of throwing away games of football. I want to try and change that mentality around Tottenham if we can. We can't be going into it picking and choosing, what games we want to turn up, what games we want to perform in. Because at the end of the day, if you want to be a club that wins trophies, why narrow down your chance and pick and choose what competitions you want to perform in? Surely the aim is you've got 4 competitions at the start of the season when you've qualified for Europe. The aim is to try and be competitive across the board. That's what big clubs do. That's what competitive clubs do. You don't narrow down your chances like we do, where we think we can go and win this, and when we don't, we're all throwing the toys out of the pram. We should be going after every game with intent. And look, I said it in the pre-match build-up, Jack. I think it's a case if we, I think next week is a different circumstance. Liverpool going for the league. We got outclassed there already this season. I think many fans, sort of expect next week to be a very difficult weekend. But what Ange can't do is lose to the likes of Forest, the likes of Villa, teams like that. He has to demonstrate he can beat these teams coming out the end of the season.
Yeah.
Because, say, if we do get to the Europa League and say hypothetically he wins it, if he's not picking up points in the league, that's still going to be a big shadow over him heading into next season. That's still a big decision that the board need to take on, Jack. It's like, yeah, we won a trophy, but at what cost? We could get relegated next year. No one wants to get relegated, despite many people at times going, look, don't really care about the league. I want to focus on a trophy. But it was said in terms of we don't care if we finish mid-table, but no one wants to be where we are. And I think, this year many people realise the league probably does mean a lot more to them than maybe what, first thought. Look, I was one of them where it's like, look, I don't mind, rest off on the league a little bit, go for one of them trophies, but I never wanted it to get this bad, and this is the thing. I think if Ange really wants to sort of keep his job, yes, he has to win the Europa League, but he's also got to demonstrate that he can pick up results in the league, because if he doesn't, I think there's still a massive decision to be made. So can't throw any games. Look, I think Ange realises that himself, Jack. He said coming into this game, the best preparation for Europa League semi-final is winning games of football.
100%, man. And I just want to see a good performance yet again, something maybe similar to what we saw against Frankfurt. But again, my maybe intensity for this watch along might be a little subdued, but probably when we get a goal for us, I'll be screaming and shouting like we usually do. But yes, I think the vibes are still being ridden, from the Thursday night, and we're just hoping to see this team put in another good performance, potentially win and spoil a Nuno party for their Champions League hopes. And like you say there as well, maybe show signs and evidence that this team can beat a good side. Nottingham Forest, a good side this season. They've been very, very difficult to handle. They play different from majority of the teams as well, kind of in that upper echelon of the Premier League table. They're stubborn. They like to play without the ball. They, in fact, probably excel really without the ball and hitting you on the counterattack. They have very good wingers in Hudson-Odoi, as well as the likes of Alanga, former Man United player. And then they've gotten the most out of Chris Wood, someone who I've had a lot of respect for a long time. But he's even defying my own expectations of what he's capable of. And they have some other good players in there. And they're kind of one of those teams that will kick you. They will make the game more physical than maybe other sides do. Like I said, they don't play the most attractive stuff, but they play very effective stuff. And they have been a winning team and a winning side this season. I can't really recall any games, maybe they've had a few where they've probably gotten, kind of the game handed to them, but they usually hang in there too. Like even if they're being put under the cosh, being put under pressure, they seem to find a way to survive that and end up actually sometimes punching teams in the mouth with just one
Yeah.
chance or one opportunity. So we have to be fearful of that. Maybe there's a chance here that Spurs could be dominating this game, but then all of a sudden just one counterattack, let's say through a guy like Alanga, and then
Solve
all of a
that
sudden,
problem.
we go a goal down. So it's going to be an interesting game. I don't think they'll play that similarly to what probably Liverpool will do or what the likes of Bodo Glimt will do. But once again, like you say, Dave, just a good team in Nottingham Forest and a good test for Spurs for just the future in general with this Ange Postecoglou team. So I think that's a very good,
No,
very good
uh,
preview for sure.
yeah, look, I think, look, this is a good test. At the end of the day, I don't expect Forest to be around there next season. So I think it's a good, a good test to show that, look, because at the end of the day, if we win games, then Postecoglou and the players will hark back to the injuries earlier on in the season, play a more massive part than maybe what fans thought. But in order to be able to, portray that across, you have to finish out the season well now that everyone's back. Look, Forest is not going to be an easy test today. They spent 21 years down in the Champions League or down in the Championship. They are in dreamland right now, heading for the Champions League. Let's not forget, last season they were fighting relegation. This season now they're fighting Champions League. That shows how quickly things can change in football. But they're coming here with a purpose tonight, and if we know Nuno, we expect him to sit back. And like you said, it's about how we deal with the counter attack. But that's where, Postecoglou maybe needs to be a bit clever today.
Yeah,
Instead of
there's a lot of
instructing the
teams play that
fullbacks,
way.
exactly, instead of instructing Pedro Porro to drift forward or drift inside, and leaving their wingers so free so that when a long ball comes over, you have to pull Romero across, pull Van de Ven across, pull Spence across, then they deliver to the back post, and they've got an overload there. That's what you often see. Instruct Porro, sit in, just don't allow that ball over the top. At the end of the day, we're good enough to be able to sit in on the halfway line. We've shown that with Romero and Van de Ven. We can mop up them balls. Actually, it'd be very interesting to see how the two of them double will. Come up against Chris Wood tonight, because Chris Wood is an anomaly compared to what they're used to facing. Usually they're used to facing maybe more mobile, more athletic sort of,
Yeah.
strikers. Chris Wood is just your old traditional
Holy.
target man. He's a bully. It'd be very interesting. Look, Romero's a good centre half, but he's not the biggest of centre backs. Van de Ven is a tall centre back, but he's not the most
Strongest.
aggressive
Yeah.
of centre backs,
Yeah.
strongest of centre backs. So that's going to be a real test in there. That's where Vicario comes in tonight. If they're putting in balls, I don't want to see him out there flapping at things, punching things, so that Gibbs White can have a shot on the edge of the box and stuff. He needs to come out and claim the ball, take some of that pressure. It's not just on that back line, it's also how he handles it when balls come into the box. There's ways he can alleviate the pressure. And lastly, I'm actually excited to see how we are going forward today, Jack. Last couple of weeks, look, with Matisse Tell, I wasn't his biggest fan because I never thought he was going to come in and solve the problem up front, which he hasn't. I've always maintained that I think he's a bit of a winger. And to a degree, I think that's where his best performances come from. And, he's maybe changing my mind. One thing I've looked at him, and that's what I identified in Kulu when everyone was maybe against the grain on Kulu, is how quick he moves that ball with 2 feet when he's in trouble. And I think there's something to work off. Same with Wilson Odobert, has that ability over the other side. And I think in a game like today, where they sit that back line back, Jack, it is about getting the boys on the ball, taking players out of the game, committing defenders towards you so that you create passing lanes and spaces for other people around you, popping in there, and that's how you score your goals. That's one thing maybe we've been missing with Son to a large degree, and one thing we've been missing with Johnson. So I'm hoping that maybe that forward line opens up a bit of a different avenue, makes us a little bit more exciting moving forward.
100%. Let me just read aloud those lineups for you, but I think Dave's preview is absolutely spot on for what we want to see from this team and how they can learn, to play against these difficult sides like Forest, because you will come up against them this season as well as also into next season, if Ange Postecoglou is still around. Vicario in goals, by the way, everybody. Pedro Porro at right back, Romero and Van de Ven, that's the big call, have stayed in the lineup at center back, which I would imagine is making a lot of people happy because it seemed like, I don't know, we're only gauging it up what we see, but the majority of fans seem to hope for not too much rotation. And so you are getting that with the back line here. And then Jed Spence is the only change to it. And you could maybe say that's a good thing. A lot of people like Jed Spence and they want to see him, as well, see what he can offer while he's being left out in some of these Europa League games. Then we go into the midfield. Pop Matasar comes in for Bergval. Bentancur keeps his spot in the defensive role in the midfield, which is interesting, right? Maybe a lot of us were calling for an opportunity for Archie Gray. We're not seeing it. We're seeing him go with the number one choice of Rodrigo Bentancur. Kulusevski is here to replace Madison. I think Madison took such a knocking to the head. I'm actually surprised he's even available
Yeah.
for this game on the bench. But, again, makes sense. It's also a better time maybe to see if we can get Kulu kind of back into form or get him back in really match sharpness and match shape, again, ahead of the more important games like Bodo Glimt. Then you have up top, and this is going to be fun, lots of new faces, or at least, guys who we haven't seen much of lately. Odobert, he's been out of the lineup for a little bit. then Richarlison's been out of the wild for a long bit. He's been out of the lineup for a bit,
Sneaky
and we get
feeling
to.
about him tonight, though, Jack.
It's going to be fun. What do you expect from Richarlison quickly, Dave? I mean, is he going to look rusty? Is he going to prove people like yourself right? Maybe snip out a goal quite early or at some point in the game. What do you expect from the Big Rich?
I don't know. I just have a sneaky feeling he might score tonight. I just think he's coming back. Postecoglou said he's looked hungry in training. And I just wonder, is he coming back with maybe a point to prove? And I think that might play in our favour. And what excites me more is I just think there might be a little bit more service there for him tonight than maybe what Solanke's had when he's had Son off one side and Johnson off the other. If what I'm thinking in my head is that Wilson Odegaard gets on the ball is direct, Tal gets on the ball is direct. If they start cutting it back, passing backwards, that's where Richarlison is going to struggle. But if they can get direct, get that ball across, flash it across, I think he's better in the box at getting on the end of him. I think he reads the situation maybe a bit faster or a bit better than maybe what Dom Solanke does. And I just have a feeling, one thing that I've seen with him this season, I go back to that Everton game where he came off the bench. He got on the ball. He got on the end of a cross. I go back to Forest last season under Ange. It was him that got on the end of a cross that ended up giving us the win that night. I just think there's a goal there for him like that today. I just have a feeling. Could be completely wrong, but it's just my feeling.
And then the other man that you mentioned, Matisse Tell, gets another opportunity to give us more evidence to base our judgment off of whether he is worth investing in the long term for next season. Like Dave said, I think in predicted lineup or whichever game, or whichever commentary I was listening to Dave for, but I think he did turn some heads with his performance against Frankfurt. I'd argue he was the best of that forward line, was more positive than the rest. And in general, just was more competent with the ball, was able to actually make things happen, was more of a catalyst, I think is probably the other word for it, in terms of getting moves started, and was direct, positive, a lot of things that we look for in a winger in the Spurs side, especially this Ange Postecoglou team. And so it's another good chance to see what Matisse Tell is made of, in a different scenario against a different side who will play differently than the likes of Frankfurt. So just more opportunities to get some evidence and get some more reactions to what Matisse Tell is capable of. And Odegaard, we know, is also somebody that is competing for that spot with Brennan Johnson. So lots of new things to take a look at. Lots of, cool opportunities for players to wow us and see what they're capable of.
I'll just go back to my lifetime, Jack, as a Spurs fan, when I think we've been at our most exciting to watch. It's when we've had dynamic wingers, quick, taking on their man, brave, skillful, wingers that are just difficult to deal with. That's when we've been at our most exciting. And I just think Matisse Tell off one side and Odegaard off the other side have the potential to do that. And it's just about them now having the confidence and having the bollocks to go and do it. Show that they can offer something different. If they come in and they start passing backwards, what are they offering different to Brennan Johnson or Son? They're not. So they have to come in and show that they can offer something different tonight. And hopefully tonight's the night.
Especially in Odegaard's case, you and I do like him, so we need to see, some positivity from Odegaard and see that directness and, that silky moves that he has over on that wing. Let's hope we can get some of that on the right. Let's get to some of the people in the house, though. By the way, actually on the bench, just quickly, we have Kinski. I know we have Danzo as well. Archie Gray, of course, is in there. Davis is in there. Basuma's in there. Bergvall, Madison. Lots of midfielders to pick from for Ange Postecoglou. But then up top, in terms of changes he can make up there, not too many. It's only Johnson and Solanke are the real players that he can make changes towards in terms of the forward line. No Mikey Moore on the bench. I think Dave said there could be an injury, but we're not too sure about that. Rumored injury, Dave. Yeah, that's what you said, I believe, during the pre-match build-up. So anybody like Shawnee who wants to see Mikey Moore be given his chance, fortunately, once again, it looks like it's not going to happen tonight. And no Damola Ajayi, no other sort of, young talents, off the bench either to pick from, it looks like. So you wouldn't maybe expect a ton of rotation up front maybe for this game, considering there's really only two options for the most part. But let's get to some of the lovely people in the house. Dark Sun G's in here nice and early saying, come on, you Spurs. I hope we beat Nuno today. Yeah, it's technically a more important game for Forest because am I right by saying, Dave, they lost their last two games, and those were good chances for them to pretty much solidify their chances in the Champions League spots. And I believe some of those games, if I'm remembering correctly, were against fellow Champions League contenders, and they ended up losing those games. So Nuno, maybe under a little bit of pressure, from his own fans. I think, of course, they're very happy with him, but he has technically bottled maybe the last two chances to, again, solidify themselves in these Champions League spots, and losing 3 in a row would be bad for them. Definitely would be. You could start to question whether they would actually finish in those Champions League spots,
Yeah.
especially if they lose to us in this one. And also just an opportunity for him, I guess, to see if he can pick up some revenge against this
Yeah.
Spurs side of ours. Mick Hermlock's in here. Dave Janola's in here. Big up to you guys. Appreciate the support. DB saying, I'm feeling positive tonight. Come on, you Spurs.
Big
Liking
up,
that,
DB.
DB.
Yeah. Who is that guy? Is it a new DB? Who's replaced him?
He's also saying Suns at the game tonight. Crowd will hopefully be positive. Let's have it. Yeah, we're having that conversation, DB. I'm pretty sure you were hearing it. Like, Dave and I are kind of under the feeling like it's going to be like a 50-50. There's going to be a lot of crowd, a lot of people kind of riding the high, happy clapping from Thursday night. Then there will still be people at the stadium that might still have that lingering feeling about, where we are in the Premier League table, that the Premier League form really hasn't been all that great. And also we're coming up against, like we've said a few times now, a very good Nottingham Forest team.
Yeah.
So you wonder if there will still be some nervy fans in there. For the most part, though, I'm kind of just vibes FC. I think Dave is a little bit in there as well, but plenty of people have their different takes and their different feelings, of course. But good to see that you're feeling positive, DB. Derek Hutchinson's in here. Good to see you, sir. Corby79, Dennis N. Earl, Laren Deb, Tartan Spurs. How are you, Tartan? Let's keep the spirits high in and around the club. Get the 3 points. Good to see you, Dave and Jack. Up the Spurs, up the mighty Tottenham. Big up to you, Tartan. Neil is in here. Good to see you, Neil. Coys. And then we also have Rick in Brighton. Rick back in Brighton. Member for
Rick.
20 months. Flat Cat member as well. Thank you for nearly 2 years of support. I feel like it's been a lot longer than that, though, Rick. So I don't know if that membership milestone's doing you the best of service. I think it's been a lot longer. And he's saying, pick up, lads. I'm feeling guilty. Haven't gone to the game today, Rick. Like Dave and I were saying, I wonder if there's like a 50-50, vibe change in the stadium where there might be people like me just sort of feeling the high from the win on Thursday. Kind of the beers are out, just here to watch some good football, here to watch a good game, and also the chance of seeing Spurs win again. And then also there might be some more nervous, more anxious fans in there as well. But I'm sad that you're not in there with them because I think you would probably appreciate the vibes just a little bit more, Rick, because I know you've had to go to some tough games, over the course of the season. But thank you for the support you show Dave and I for a long time now, my man.
A lot of grace.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, and and this is the thing, magnificent thing that I like about this channel, Jack, is, there for a while we were on opposite sides of the opinion, but none of us are throwing our toys out the pram or out, and we're still communicating, coming out the other end of it, which is absolutely fantastic. Rick, it would be great to see you down at the Palace game. Myself and Jack will be there if you're down and around. It'd be great to meet up with you before the game.
Absolutely. I think I have his number as well, so we can definitely arrange that, and would absolutely love to come see him for that Palace game. Lily White's India's in the house. Good to see you. Shamtan, evening, Dave and Jack. Hope you're well. Do you think this is a gung-ho, chaotic Ange ball lineup or something closer to the way we played in Germany? In terms of the actual play style, hard to say, Shem, but I think the majority of fans who didn't want to see a ton of rotation for this game should be relatively satisfied, right? Just one change pretty much in midfield. Like, I think we all knew Kulusevski was going to come in for Madison, so there can't really be any complaints there. Bentancur is and then no changes really in the back line apart from Jet Spence. It's just the forward line, there's a host of changes. I don't know, Dave, for people that didn't want to see a ton of rotation, do you think they should be relatively happy with this lineup?
I think so. And look, I'm relatively happy with it, actually, Jack. I think we should be looking to maybe try and build off that clean sheet against Frankfurt at the weekend. Look, if you could be defensively solid, it helps you going forward to a large degree. And I think the right option today is, look, you put that same team out there. Look, bringing in Jed Spence for Dougie, there's not really a difference there. Some would argue Jed Spence is better. But I think the right area to change up is that forward line. There's no mistake about it. We weren't good in possession or on the ball against Frankfurt. We got through because we were able to win a penalty and score it. But we need to be able to create a lot more chances. And I think the right thing to do is to try and find the right forward line ahead of that semi-final. I think, to a degree, that's what he's gone with. Let's not also forget the Nuno factor. It's not going to go down well if he loses to Nuno tonight. It's not going to go down well with the fans because Nuno was chased out of here very, very quickly. And if he can't beat Nuno, and I think Postecoglou's also aware of that, potentially why he's gone with a strong enough lineup tonight.
Yeah, 100%. And then as well, we have the likes of Fat Tony in with us. Big up to you,
Big
Fat
up,
Tony. Let's
Tony.
go, boys. Purrs up for Mickey's hamstrings chasing around Anthony Alanga. Yeah, true. We don't want any injuries, please. Absolutely none. But Fat Tony, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. If you celebrated Easter as well, hopefully you had a nice Easter weekend. Darius is in here. Good to see you, Darius. One of the best names in the house. Big up David Jack and everyone in the chat. Come on, you Spurs. Let's win 3-1 tonight. Lazy 8 said we will expose Nuno's Nottingham frauderist. See what I
That'd be
did there?
nice.
Yeah, time to cut down the trees. Well, even someone, Daniel Field, said he's a tree hugger, but he's going to be cutting down trees tonight. Big up to you, Lazy 8. Hopefully you're keeping well,
Yeah,
especially if
big
you
up,
are
mate.
at work, and hopefully you had a good weekend, a Passover weekend as well, not just Easter weekend, Passover weekend for a lot of people. Mark P saying, big up, boys. You need to get a jaw wobble on here. He is priceless.
Oh, Jaw Wobble. Yeah, so he was on last part of Spurs with me last night. Do you know what? That guy is an absolute character. I could actually listen to his stories all day long. And what's hilarious about it is I've been on a couple of shows with him now. And, Ricky Sachs either calls me D or Irish or Dave, right? When he's passing it off to me. And Jaw Wobble was like, you're calling him Dean. Is his name Dean? I thought his name was Dave and everything else. And it's like, no, his name is Dave, but he still thinks I'm Dean for some reason. It was chaotic, but it was absolutely hilarious. He's a legend. I like him.
Foggy Foam is in with us as well. Then we also have MV Joker Davis and Coys. Oh, when the Spurs go marching in. Oh, when the Spurs go marching in.
Screw that one.
Come on, Eddie.
Spurs are on their way to Bilbao.
Come on,
Tottenham
Eddie.
gonna do it again.
Eddie, by the way, I was on my was on my way to the golf, after the game on Thursday night, and I was just screaming, various Spurs songs. I didn't even need to put on the tunes, didn't even need to put on a podcast or anything.
Yeah.
Was just singing to myself like an absolute crazy person. I bet you were doing the same there, Eddie, while you're at work or just, on your way to maybe see the misses. You just can't get the Spurs songs out your head. Thank you, Eddie, as well, for all the love and support you show us, man, on the Big Up platform over here and just riding through the season with us. This year, Eddie, you've been a wonderful, wonderful addition to this community, my friend. Thomas is in here. I have to catch up with all you lovely people. Jason Bell, Big Up all, massive match for Forest today, says Jason Bell. Yeah, true.
Do you know what? It's actually interesting to see how we get on today now that all the pressure is gone. You go back to that Coventry game earlier on in the season where, again, it was dubbed if he would go out and just sacked. We won it. I think we went on about a 6 or 7 game run after that.
Yeah.
I wonder, could this do the same thing? It's interesting when you don't have that pressure on you and you do have that clear headed. Sometimes you can play a little bit.
Yeah.
Look, we're about to get into it, but it's going to be very interesting. I just wonder, could we see a bit of a silky Tottenham tonight? That would be unbelievable.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
Tyler saying no balloon boy again. Ange might be cooking now.
Well, do you know what? I'm glad on that one because I think if you get into the realms of giving players shot window minutes to potentially retain his value, is he going to try his hardest out there? And that becomes a problem. You let your team down. You can see goals and stuff like that. So I think right decision. At the end of the day, I think Ange wants to win this one. You can see that one by the lineup.
And then we also have another Mark in the house. Big up to you, Mark Adini, Dave and Jack. Big up. Hope you had a great Easter weekend and feel blessed. Yeah, feeling good, my man. Thank you very much, Mark. And thank you for the support as a member. Dark Sun G saying Richie scored against Forest before for us. Also, remember Van de Ven did too. Love that Richie goal. Yeah. One of my favorite header goals in a long time, actually. That Richarlison goal. Let's hope we get something similar. Woodsy Talks Football, Mary W, Naughty Paperclip, you absolute legends. Thank you for joining us. And then Daniel Larson, member for 36 months. 3 years, fan show member. Come on, you Spurs. I'm still buzzing from Thursday night. Just great to be somewhat positive about this club again. Also, still can't believe we are going to face Bodo. Absolutely crazy.
Are you going to the game? You going to the game, Danny?
I would love to see you be able to get up. I bet it's a long drive for him, though. I mean, I think Kaylee Davis, Dave, mentioned to me that, even from Oslo, Norway, which I believe is the biggest city in Norway, it's still, a good 2 to 3 hour plane ride.
Yeah, from the closest airport, it's a good 2 hour drive. Yeah,
it's absolutely nuts, and even
it's
the flight, it's going to be a long trip for plenty of people. But thank you, Daniel. 3 years, my man. It's been wonderful 3 years with you, buddy. It's been a wonderful 3 years with you, sir.
Yeah, big up, Daniel. Look, I think everyone's buzzing. That's why the noise has quelled down a little bit. It'll be interesting to see the reaction after today's game. I hope we win just so that, we can all sit here happy, Daniel. Richarlison having to change his boots very early on before balls even kicked. I don't like to look at that, to be honest. I already feel cursed. But
thank you, everybody, as always, for picking us as your watch-along destination. Smash a like, please. And let's ride the good vibes, at least for now, everybody.
Hopefully they're not killed within 2 minutes, Jack. Oh, brilliant from Udaberg. Good interception. Now on to Kulu. Just lay it off, Kulu. You done your job. Good layoff onto Bentancur. Good pass to Mickey van der Ven.
Good first touch from Bentancur as
Good
well.
ball out to Tell. He's in space. Come on. Take him on. Show him what he's in for.
A little bit of magic that we
Here we
saw
go.
from
In
the other
behind for
night. A good
Spence.
ball into Jed. The
Skin his
Jedi.
bench.
Little step
Come on.
over. Little
Spence
hesitation.
Aldinho. Good pull back.
Up. Daniel Larson saying highly unlikely, sadly. I'm sorry about that, Daniel, man. Well, at least you probably get to see plenty of good Spurs fans. But Norway's buzzing. There's so many good Norwegian fans out there. But they are buzzing.
Here we go. Matisse Tal, nice and direct. Cuts inside. Oh, he forgets the ball.
Behind him.
Wins it back, though. Wins it back. That's brilliant from Tell. Have it. Tell. Oh, it's blocked. That's brilliant from Matisse Tal. That's exactly what we want. Nice and direct. Now, Papamatsaurus Rex. Good ball. Oh, it's cleared. Bentancur. Onto Spence. This is a good start. Using the enthusiasm. Spence with another ball over the top. It's over hit. Or sorry, even. That's a great play. This is good intent from Tottenham Hotspur, though. Good intent.
Some lovely stuff from a few players there. Some lovely stuff. Near Aviv, NJ123, Foggy Foam. So many good people in the house. Like I said, Mary W. Woodsy Talks Football. Scooter Reacts. Good to see you, sir. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate the support.
You should change that to Electric Scooter Reacts now. That's the way we're going. Come on, get the pressure on. Let's go. I do like that Milinkovic. We should have got our hands on him.
Yeah, he's just a good, no-nonsense, kind of classic defender.
As well.
Good in the air, Milinkovic as well. Very good in the air. Sir!
Ref, come on now. You're going to... Oh, my... Yeah, well done. He's a good ref, this guy. I didn't even... Do you know what? I was on such vibes, I didn't even bother seeing who's in charge this week. Anyone can tell me the referee today?
Darkson G usually would know.
Honestly, I've just been on that much vibes. I was sitting there, I was like, you know what? I don't even care, actually. I'm not going to have the conversation be about them today, you know? Back to Vicario. It's a good, strong first touch. Doesn't look nervous. On out to Van de Ven. Another good first touch. Plays it in to Tell. Commits his man. Tries to play it down the line to Spence. Unlucky. I like that from Spence. He's coming inside and then looking to come on the outside down the line for Tell. Spence with the long throw
from Spence.
Richie. Oh, Richie holding
it up.
Unlucky Tell.
In a battle with Blankovic.
That was brilliant from Richie. Strong geezer. Oh, Bentancur, that's poor.
Bentancur, not with the best cushioned header
there. Pick up
Rodrigo. We could go 13th with a win, says Looper Cal.
I'll take that. Definitely take that. Look, I'm just in the game of winning. Yeah, no, that's what I want to do. Just want to win games and smile and be glorious. Wake up with morning glory every morning.
And thank you, Adam, King Hoddle, and John as well for joining us. Appreciate you all.
Yeah, big up, everybody. Really appreciate it, guys. Let's know you think we're going to get on today, guys. DJ's in there. Big up, DJ. I bet you were spraying that AK everywhere, Thursday night.
And the best happy clapper around, Leighton Evelyn, just joined nice and late.
Big up, Leighton. He loves it. I say he was absolutely... Do you know what? I'd say he probably actually got... 1 second good save from Vicario. I'd say Leighton Evelyn actually got the best celebration out of Thursday night because, he doesn't predict us to win an awful lot. He doesn't really have much confidence behind the team. So he went in there expecting nothing and came out with absolutely everything. So actually, he probably had the best enjoyment Thursday night. Big up, Leighton.
That was a good pass from Elliot Anderson into Morgan Gibbs-White, and then it was a really good touch and shot from Gibbs-White.
He's wrapped that as well. It's going in bottom corner. Good save from Vicario.
I think it was a better shot than we might have realized. It was a good save from Vicario.
And he has that ability. We need to get out there and close that down quicker. Milinkovic looking to steamroll here on the end of this one, along with Chris Wood. Marilo's another one.
And that's what Forest do, man. They punch you in the mouth like that. They just kind of catch you out.
Good clearance.
Get their Kulu.
Come on, Kulu. No!
1-0. Already, of course.
Oh, Elliot Anderson. Fuck me. Back to being
Drew Zilla, if you're listening, Drew, let's add that to the stats of goals inside the first 5 minutes again.
Oh, Lord.
It's just one effort again, or I guess Gibbs-White, effort. The save by Vicario. And then that just takes a wicked, wicked deflection.
Back to being the normal Tottenham. Let's have a look at this. Could have done better on two occasions to clear this. Ball comes in.
Cleared away by Odebear. Poro at the near
post.
That's
a poor clearance, though. But why are you heading it back into the... It's like right to the edge of the box, Just head
why
that
do we
clear.
do that? It's often that it's like a good ball for them.
Oh, man, that's just
not a great clearance from Poro. And then it takes a nasty deflection off Bentancur here. And then Vicario could have saved that. Vicario could have saved it.
It's hard once it takes the deflection. It's just poor from
I
Pedro
mean, the
Porro. He's
way it
literally just
skids off the
teed him up.
ground there, it's tough.
Oh, fuck me. Back to being Tottenham. Here we go.
Battle of the ski jackets as well between Nuno and Ange, if Ange is wearing one.
It's unbelievable.
I think Porro is probably the one at fault there, Dave, and then maybe Vicario
Yeah.
could have done a bit better.
Yeah, look, maybe Vicario could have done better, but you got to look at the clearance there. It's just put it away. You know, why is he heading it back into the danger? Honestly, he's just heading it into the danger zone. It's madness.
Powder
Cal.
puff wrist from
Take on his
Vicario.
man. Oh,
Oh,
what good skill
Matisse
by Cal.
Cal!
Gets it across. Oh, come on, someone make
Right
that
there
run.
for Richie, but
Yeah,
Richie was
Richie,
waiting
he's
for
got to
it.
get across his man there. He's just stood there waiting. You got to get across him.
Wanted it on the plate. Jedi. Matisse Cal, though, looking good so far, I'd say.
He's
Once
looking
again.
sharp in possession.
And we looked good there before the goal conceded. I mean, it's still very early doors, you know. Perhaps maybe Forest scored a bit too early, but they do score early, I feel like, Forest, whenever I do watch them. They have that sort of thing about them.
Matisse back to Kulu.
Or to Van de Ven, he's
Yeah,
far
but
forward.
this is their game plan, though. You know, they're
Yeah.
just going to sit everyone behind the ball now, make it difficult, you know, block up the spaces and that now. You're sort of helping them along with the game plan to a large degree. Just frustrating, really frustrating. You know, one thing I said coming into this game is there's goodwill factor, bit of positivity. Don't suck it out of everyone 6 minutes in.
I just, if Druzilla is listening, though, I'm curious, you know, just now again, you know, how many times are Spurs recently been conceding early? It's been happening a lot. I don't know, like that one is tough. I put it on Pedro Porro, but it just seems to be our luck.
Yeah, we just love it. Matisse Tal into
Come on,
Richie.
Rich.
Can he get on the end
Well
of it?
done, Rich.
Close.
Battled hard for it, but then good first time passing from Forrest there.
Well.
Good first time passing. Ball over the top for Elanga. He's one of the paciest players
Don't
in the Premier
allow
League.
him on the inside, Porro. Show him on the outside. Please show him on
He's
the
getting
fucking
mixed
outside.
by
Oh my
Elanga.
God.
Jeez, that was sketchy to watch.
Don't lose it there.
Porro, good ball
out to Kulu.
Touch from Kulu.
The defending isn't good enough from Porro, though. He's got to show him on the outside. The reason why he's showing him on the inside is because he wants someone else to come across and help him. Show him on the outside and deal with him.
Elanga is very quick.
He is, but, you know, you allow him on the inside, it's just not good enough. Yeah. It's where the danger comes, you know. You're pulling people out. Show him on the outside.
Excuse. Just, as commenting on it.
Oh, he is. Look, he's a tricky customer. He is a tricky customer.
I would love to have him at Spurs.
Porro
all over the top for Kulu. Good run. Good strength from Kulu.
Ref, he's all over. Well done,
Kulu. Maybe turns the wrong way. Can he win us a corner?
Get out.
Did well for the most part, Kulu there.
Oh, Porro. Fucking hell,
he might have. Yeah, it's again from Porro.
Jesus Christ. Again, it's shit from Porro.
And that's out wide to Elanga. What a challenge from Romero. No nonsense from him.
Again, Porro with the head. It's shocking. Come on, man. He's going to make this a difficult evening for us. Nuno's done his homework. He's put Elanga out on that side, you know, just to fucking destroy him.
Well, he's one of those kind of managers, you know. He does tend to adapt, you know, per the opposition.
Papa Massar trying to get on the press. Richie on the press. Keep going. Go on, Big Rich. Forced them long.
Not the best of clearances. Bentancur, poor again.
Two
poor bad headers from Bentancur and bad headers from Pedro Porro as well.
There's just no one around Bentancur. You just got to take it down, man. Come on. We're just making stupid, silly errors now. Big up, Slow Jamrock. Good to see you. Good evening. Good evening, Alfred. Good to see you as well.
And then Dan Coys is in here.
Big up, Dan. Good to see you, Dan. Just silly errors in possession so far what Sar got done there. We just eliminate them. You know, we can do something here.
I'd say when we have gotten forward, we're looking bright. You know, there's... Oh, no, this is another...
It's 2-0. I don't believe it.
Wow. What a ball. What a finish. But this is not what we're looking for. These are not the positive signs we want to be seeing, you know, ahead of these games against Bodo Glimt and whatnot.
Oh, my God.
Spurs just getting outclassed with two daggers from Forest. Just two
This gets the 4 or 5, lad. I can't do it. I can't do it.
This is not what we need.
And he's on as well.
Question of offside. Let's see.
No.
Oh, he could be. Shoulder is
Potentially.
definitely off. Shoulder is
Yeah,
definitely off.
potentially. Yeah, potentially might
But
get
it's
away with
inches.
this.
It's like inches. We're talking like, the
We get away with this.
clavicle.
We're fucking lucky.
We're talking about the clavicle bone being offside here.
Again, it just comes from Bentancur just being stupid in possession, Jack. Giving them possession and letting them build an attack. You know what I mean? It's absolutely madness. Same with Porro with the first goal. Get your headers under control, for fuck's sake. Postecoglou's not happy with
They caught everyone trying to play Chris Wood offside, which they did successfully, I think.
Yeah, Porro was a huge mistake.
Yeah, he's definitely off.
Thank fuck for that. Jesus Christ. They really do make it difficult. Now, take that look and fucking go and bury the ball up the other end.
Brilliant ball. If that was from Elliot Anderson, he's played some dangerous passes thus far.
Big up, Drew, says what I've tuned into. Honestly, Drew, we're just some sloppy errors, man. It's the same all the time.
We are Tottenham, mighty Tottenham. We are Tottenham who concede first. Mickey.
Hopefully, like we did against Frankfurt, we could fucking rally here.
Oh, Pedro.
Loose again.
Pedro, man. Pedro and Bentancur not giving me any. Matisse Towell has been the bright one, though. He's looked good, Matisse. Jed. Good touch from Jed. Good ball. Pedro.
Have it, Porro. Make up for your error.
Have a great touch. Kulu. Here's Porro again. He's got the left foot on him. He scored one of those before, I remember, with Sporting.
You should keep them fucking penned in up there, please.
So far, it's probably the positive players have been Matisse Tell. Odebear has barely had a touch of it, but here he is now.
Come on, Odebear. Take him on.
Oh, he shakes his man off there, but he has to go back inside. And then Bentancur and Pedro Porro have been the sketchy ones.
Yeah.
Mickey Van de Ven, out wide to Tello.
Cut inside now.
I'm liking Tell so far. He's doing very well.
Have it.
Good switch.
Good ball out to Porro. Great fucking ball out to Porro. Ah, Porro.
Gotta do better there with the cross, Porro.
Fuck me. That's great play from Tell. Unbelievable.
So far,
why is he taking a touch? Why is he not delivering that first time? It's a great pass. Come on, get after it. Come on, Tottenham. Never going to get that one. It's just a coming together there, Richie. See if we can get on the end of this. Romero.
Oh, Bentancur.
Header.
Blocked.
Cal picks it up. Good touch. Gets a shot off. Unlucky. Well done, Bentancur. Go on, Porro. Crack that.
Pedro. Oh, go down.
Get back to Kulu. Kulu. What can Kulu do? Great touch. Pulls it back. No one there. Poor. It's poor, really.
I thought Pedro could have gone down there.
Well done, Spence.
If Pedro was a little less honest, he could have gone down there, I think.
Yeah.
Dangling foot.
Daniel Phil says all that brilliance wasted. But yeah.
Spurs are good. They look good going forward. I think Spurs are capable.
It's just, again, the defensive question. Yeah. And again, it's one thing looking capable. Can we actually fashion a chance?
Yeah. So far, like I said, I'll repeat myself. Matisse Tell, probably the bright spot.
Yeah. Get up, win that. Well done, Van de Ven.
Poor heading today. Very poor clearances and passing from the head.
Throw into Forrest. Williams goes backwards towards Milinkovic.
Not many managers have the beard like Nuno.
Got to win that, Van de Ven.
Good turn from Jed.
Well done, Spence. Using his whole body there to win the throw-in. Come on, show some composure. Act like we're the team in the European semi-final. Come on, Tottenham. Someone make a run for Spence, please. Someone look for it. Well done, Richie. Hold it now. Good switch of play. Let's go, Wilson. All that space. Fucking use it, kid. It's what you're in the team for. Just be brave now.
Wilson.
Free Willie. He's free tonight.
Pedro whipped one in. Milinkovic there to clear. Hey, Bentancur, man. Got to be stronger there, lad.
Way too easy there.
And it's a splitting ball into Anderson. Cleared out by Romero.
He had to do it. I mean, it's just poor from Bentancur again. He's just got
He's got on the wrong
outmuscled way
side of
too
him,
easy.
and he's getting.
Romero's lucky to get away with a booking there as well.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't get a booking there.
Oh, he's lucky there. Lucky boy. I mean, Bentancur leaving us exposed there. Not good enough.
He's not
man.
having a good game, Bentancur.
If you can't win the ball, you know what I mean. Just don't get ahead of the ball. Stay in behind the ball if you can't win it. Pick and choose your moments. Because if as soon as he lunges out there, if they get by him, they're in on your two centre backs. You're exposed.
Good to see you, Stevie.
Big up, Stevie. They've gone short. Alanga's going to whip this one in. Got to try and defend this. It's a good cross. Oh, it's 2-0. Fucking hell. Chris Wood. Oh, my God. We're embarrassment. It's way too easy for Alanga to get the fucking ball in.
Yeah,
like,
Pedro Porro just gives him all the space in the world.
Gonna do. You know what I mean? Get the ball out wide, put it in the box. Fuck me, Porro side yet again. Fucking hell. He's just way too much space there. No urgency to go out and close him down. Embarrassing. Fucking embarrassing.
And Vicario there. Is he... I'm questioning Vicario once again.
Everyone.
I don't know if Vicario needs to come out for this one. He probably is winning it no matter what. Van de Ven.
He's onside.
It's just Vicario comes out, though, for it. He doesn't need to.
All around. Vicario comes out. The defenders don't really jump with him. Mickey Van de Ven's poor in the air there. It's weak.
Yeah. It's a lot of players. Pedro Porro needs to close down the cross so much better.
Again, look at Vicario coming out.
And then Vicario's not even getting close to this. He's not even getting close to this.
But the thing is, why is he jumping out behind Chris Wood? If you want to go and get the ball and you actually have the bollocks, go in front of the guy. Why are you going in behind him? You're always giving him the chance to get on the end of it. Get out in front of him. It's not hard. Shocking.
And then Van de Ven just doesn't even get close to it.
Wouldn't be surprised if Spurs fans start walking out, man. It's embarrassing.
Just any time. Oh, good play from Odebear. Great play from Odebear.
Gets a good ball in. Oh! Nearly scores. Fuck me.
Nearly a Pop Matasar goal.
Matisse Tal, good ball. Tal.
Good touch as well from Sar.
Should always let you down, man.
Just, again, like I said, Dave, Forrester, this type of team, they just punch you in the mouth, man. They're effective. They are a very clinical team as well. Chris Wood, two just very good finishes.
Well on Mickey Van de Ven.
Matisse played one of them. But he whips it in! Oh. Fine Sar. Too late. Romero.
Back.
Wilson. Shaky. Lovely.
Good ball into Kulu.
Shifty, I meant. Shaky and shifty.
Get it in. Need to get more bodies in that box. Can't just be aiming at Richie alone. Honestly.
It's just two really bad defensive moments, you know.
And the thing is, it just doesn't, you know, it just
the
puts
defense
more
still
pressure
looks
on
leaky.
things again. Just puts more pressure on absolutely everything again. All the goodwill factor sucked out here, you know. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Like I said, we look, in my opinion, we do look bright going forward, but we're just so leaky. Just so leaky.
And the thing is, they have to understand, just winning Europa League alone isn't going to be enough for Ange. Like, they have to win. They have to win the games if they want him to stay. Here's a good breakaway. Bentancur onto Matisse Tal. He's got Spence on the overlap. Gives it back into
Odebear. Good
Odebear, unlucky. It's better from Tottenham.
Spurs look
Much
good,
better.
all right. We look good going forward. It's just conceding two very sloppy goals. Good hit. Easy save, though, for Sells.
We have seen this movie before.
Easy save for Sells.
Oh, that's so close from Wilson Odebear, that first opportunity. Well done, Romero, unlucky. Now put in a cross like fucking Alanga done.
See Kulu.
Oh, my
Pedro,
God.
man, that's so poor. Either you whip in the cross or play Kulu. Don't give it to Sar. Not happy with Pedro this game.
No.
Four-star savvy team, says Woodsy. Yeah, 100%, man.
They are, but you know, you got to expect this coming into the game. You know what I mean? You just got to be smarter, man. I said it
Also,
in the
even the
pre-match
ball into
build-up.
the box, like no one even getting close to Chris Wood there. Like
Said it in the
he's the
pre-match
obvious
build-up.
target.
I think playing Pedro Porro, you're just that. You're asking for trouble. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it was him with that poor clearance from the corner kick. Why you're heading out that direction is absolutely insane. And then again, Elanga gets out there, gets just a free cross in. It's just not good enough, man.
Good ball
Good
from
ball.
Tell.
Can Kulu
Hulu
get
got to
there?
be ready for it.
Corner kick to Tottenham. A lot of huffing and puffing, but not really much end product. Future's bright. If we lose this by 5 goals, you think Ange should be sacked? Look, I've said I think as long as we're in the Europa League, Ange keeps his job. I've said that all along. I think once we go out is where the decision is to be made. Oh.
Tell.
And there is a possibility if we keep going like this, we could easily lose this by that much. Fucking for sure, man. Oh.
That wasn't a bad ball. Sorry, take your space.
Good ball by
Not
Tell.
a bad ball.
Can someone get on the end of one of these? We're getting good, decent crosses in there. No one's fucking gambling on it.
Romero has put himself forward. Odebear. Good play from Odebear. Pedro. Tell pedaling backwards, off balance. I think the wingers are doing their job so far. They're providing service.
They're providing service. We're just not getting on the end of anything.
Then Pedro's Poro's cross was just overhit. Yeah, King Otto, I'd agree. I think the wide play is actually looking good. It's just other players, I think, have been letting themselves down this game.
Oh.
I would say Odebear and Tell are probably the brightest players on the pitch thus far.
Wing play is good. We just can't get anyone on the end of it. Defensive play is absolutely shocking. Just fucking being carved open so easy like a knife through fucking butter. Tell. Back to Kulu.
Van de Ven.
Van de Ven.
If only Kulu was playing that deep.
2-0
they
down.
had the same boots, same haircut, same build.
Yeah, same body size.
Tell, lovely stuff.
Good flick. What can we do here? Spence.
Jed, lovely stuff.
Go on, Spence. Bravo.
Oh, what a
ref, he's handballed it as well.
What
he's
a
handballed it, ref.
Kulu, don't foul unnecessarily. Yeah, Dave, you're right, actually. It might have been a handball.
Come on, let's go
Tell.
again.
Just look very good, Tell.
Showing
another ball into Jet Spence. Love it.
Go on, Spence.
Take your space.
Up.
Outside the foot, gets blocked by Milankovic.
Well done, Matisse.
Tell, lovely. Star, take your space.
Come on, some urgency. What was throwing it down for?
Yeah.
2-0 fucking down.
Kulu. Good right-footed shot from Kulu, but straight at Sells.
We look like a pub team out there right now. Not a lot of quality going forward as much as we try. And defensively, we're all over the fucking shop. Big up there. Good to see you. It's another ball over the top. Van de Ven deals. No, not great with that one at all. Romero shocking on Chris Wood. It's another shot from Anderson. It's a free kick, is it? No, we got away with that one. Fucking hell.
Pedro gets a block this time on the cross.
Yeah, fucking after he's been punished. It's the problem.
I don't think there was anything in that.
He's won the ball. Like, he's gone for this. Like, stupid even looking at it. Collision is going to happen in the game. Go on, Wilson.
I can't let that go across your body. Sketchy back pass to Vicario.
Take Porro off. It will be 4 or 5 down if he keeps this up. Take him fucking off. Two 0 down to a Nuno side. My lord.
Come on, Rich.
Come on, Richarlison. Do it like
I'm
you
under
fucking
pressure
mean
here,
it.
lads.
Jesus Christ, we're so slow on the press as well.
It's all right. Forrest, you're giving it back to us. Romero. Bentancur gets turned. No one available for him. Hot Mapsar out wide to Tell. Nicky Van de Ven.
Got to try and get one before half-time, man.
Yeah.
Matisse Tell. Looking for Spence on the overlap. Doesn't use him. Good switch of play. Expands it a little bit onto Romero.
If you can find Kulu.
Good ball
Richie,
into Richie.
good ball.
Hold up. Can he get turned and play someone?
Richie tries to play
Shocking.
Kulu. Just play him earlier, man. Just play him earlier.
No foul. No foul. Fuck me, Bentancur. Jesus Christ. He has had a shit start to this game as well. Stupid position to be fouling there. You've already got him in trouble. He's already running across the face of his own goal. It's ridiculous. Some of them still think they're in fucking Germany. This club just makes it really hard for you to be able to sustain any sort of joy. Come on. Michael W. could have been third down. Only Chris Wood's shoulder is bigger than everyone else's. Could be 3 down. Don't start this sitting in shite. Go and press that ball. You're 2-0 down. Show some sort of fucking pride. Come on, get after it, Porro. Well done, Romero. Oh. Wake me up in a while, Jack. Richie, don't fucking stand there. Start moving about. It's another long ball over the top to Alanga. Mickey Van de Ven. That's a free out, ref. Come on now. Show some urgency now. Romero. Onto Mickey Van de Ven. Let's move that ball quicker. Into Matisse Tell. Williams getting nice and close with him now.
Nice Tell. Good ball.
Let's play the right ball here. Dwight is
got to be more positive than that, man. You got to be more positive.
After such a good ball by Tell to open it up, we just slow it down and allow them to get back.
All right, Odebear now. Good touch from Odebear. Skin him, son.
Good footwork, Wilson. Oh, lucky. Reminds me a bit of Lucas there.
Like I'm saying, Tell and Odebear, best players thus far.
Romero. Good ball out to Porro. There's no one in the centre. Romero's gone in after it.
Just overhit, though, by Pedro Porro. Once again, keeps overhitting these crosses. I think Richarlison, that was the one time Richarlison looked free. See Jet Spence there, Sar. The whole midfield has been pretty poor.
Yeah, it's been non-existent. And his Porro's pissing me off. He's been shit in possession, out possession. He's all over the shop. On to Wilson. Come on, Wilson. Let's go.
There you go, man.
Come on, Wilson. Free Willy.
Yes!
Good ball across. This is it. No one's there. Fucking someone
Jesus, how much more
gamble.
can Tell and Odebear do, man? I feel like you can't fault them at all. Come on, lads.
Who's gambling?
Seriously.
Richie's got to go and gamble. He pulls
He's just
back, and
moving
Matisse
around in
Tells
the
pulls
same
back.
spot. He's
The
just
two of
moving
them have to
around.
go and gamble. They're just standing behind their guy and expecting him to find them. He's whisked it across. Go and get in on the end of it. That's what Brendan Johnson does. He's made a fucking career off it.
Yeah, Tell or Richie just have to be there.
Get out. Thank fuck. Oh, come on, Spurs. They're getting the crosses in. The wingers are doing what you want them to do. Just no presence in the box. No one in the middle.
It's very mixed from Spurs today. A lot of people who are having absolute howlers out there. And then, like I said, I can't fault Tell and Odebear so far in terms of creativity. They've been by far the most creative players. Bentoncourt, good touch from Richie.
Oh, it's a shit return ball. Fucking hell. Oh, I didn't even expect him to get it under control. And when he surprised you, then he goes and lets you down with the easy thing. Oh, no way.
Offside.
Half an hour gone. Nottingham Forest 2 goals up. Spurs don't look like scoring anytime soon, but all the heavy hitters are out there warming up. Solanke, Johnson, Madison, Borgval. Could be a load of subs coming here at half time. Matisse Teller's gone in behind. Someone get your head up. Oh,
Yeah, I think it was Pop Matasar there.
Oh, Sar. Bentoncourt. Don't dilly-dally.
Mickey.
Spence is pulling the guy with him every single time. He's creating that space for Tell. Good play, Tell.
Pedro. Out wide to Wilson.
Come on, Wilson.
Lovely.
Good idea. Picks it back up, though.
Well
great play. On to Paro. Please get
Pedro, you have your crossing. He could have crossed it earlier.
Yeah.
Pedro. Oh my God,
he's fucking me off. He is pissing me off.
So frustrating, Pedro. Well done, Wilson. Well done, Wilson.
Good shout, Romero. Sar, look at Sar. Doesn't even want it. Well done, Vicario. Good option. Let's go now. You've caught 3 or 4 of them out. Let's go. Go, Bentoncourt. On to Sar. Gets so slow, gets out to Jed Spence. Gets so cramped.
Bentoncourt and Sar at times have been very negative in possession.
We need more of what Tell is doing, where he's getting on that ball. He's bypassing 2 or 3 players with the pass.
Breaking the lines,
putting
too.
it direct. Exactly, lad.
And then Odebear has just been skinning his man on a regular basis. I just think, the midfield, Dave, Kulu needs to also find a way to get into the game a bit more here. He's dropping deep.
He's been non-existent, lad.
But I just think Bentoncourt and Sar have been so negative in possession at times.
Yeah.
So negative. Tell, can you find Kulu? Yes, he does.
Ball.
Lovely from
Kulu. Kulu on to Spence. Good
Jed,
touch.
Can he get there? Yes, he
Pulls
does.
it back. Corner kick. No, it's
slightly
kept
heavy
in.
touch from Jed. It's all right.
Matisse Tell. Well done, Matisse.
Come on, sorry. Got whipped it in.
Kulu, be aware of your surroundings, man.
Ridiculous attempt from Kulu. Don't foul, please.
He's going to get caught here. Why is Pedro Paro gone there? Why? As soon as he sees that runner running in behind, he's got to go with it. He's just left it.
Use your body there, though, Kulu. You're a big guy. You tried to do too much there. You tried to meg the guy. It's just silly. Like I said, the whole midfield, though, has been Bentoncourt, Sar, and Kulusevski. They're just non-existent this game. And Bentoncourt has just given away so much possession. Or has not taken the positive option when in possession. Jed, man on. Someone shout, man on. Longa, he's the out ball. Well done, Romero.
Well done, Romero. Keep it in, Spence.
Super chat in, Dave, from Nicholas Walker. Thank you, Nicholas. Saying we're trying to play Champions League football on a lower league budget. Something has to give here. Richie, Solanke, Johnson, etc. are the best of the rest, just not elite.
I think that's an absolute great quote, actually, there. Sums it up, actually. I think, well done, Nicholas. You absolutely sum it up. Trying to play Champions League football on a championship budget to a certain degree. That's what it feels like. It's just, yeah, you're right. Something will have to give. You know, it will have to give. I was saying in the pre-match build-up. If Postecoglou wants to keep his job, even win the Europa League, you got to win some of these league games. Coming out 2-0 down, because that's the question. Even if he does say win the Europa League, which is still a massive if, people are going to go, yeah, but at what cost? Hang on, got to look at the Premier League, got to retain our Premier League stars. You know what I mean? And a lot of people fear we'll get relegated next season if we continue with this guy, which I think is a fair. It is a real concern. You know what I mean? We're lucky that there has been 3 really poor enough teams in it this year to a certain degree. And I think that's what makes people nervous. That's why you got to try and win games of football. Winning games of football brings belief, hope, and confidence. But I do argue as well, Nicholas. I think we've got to start doing, both. If you are going to bring in another manager, you still got to bring in better players to work with. If at the end of the day, you can't keep trying to ascertain trying to win trophies on when the quality of your players aren't good enough. You know what I mean? Because it's going to cost every manager their job.
Hit those first time, Pedro.
Honestly, we're in a position where I actually don't even know what to do to get out of it, to be honest, Nicholas. It's another shit ball. No way is he blowing that.
The other thing, Nicholas, and we spoke about this on a big upstream, it's just with Daniel Levy, man, like something also has to give with this guy because he needs to realize that if he wants to try to deliver Champions League football on a regular basis to this stadium, he has to all of a sudden, pick out, that the budget and the recruitment just needs to be so much better. He needs to actually push the boat out on top level players with real wages who really have shown experience that they can do it at a high level. He needs to back his manager, whichever one he has faith in, by bringing in the right players for them. He just is always just doing things in this contradictory manner where he's building the best stadium in England, but at the same time, like you're saying, trying to get managers to get into Champions League football on a championship budget. It's just something has to give. And also, if this goes another season without actually Champions League football, it's a real damning indictment of him since moving into the stadium.
The quality of player that we're signing matters. Look, I do take the argument. These players are probably better than what they're performing in the league so far.
Oh, my Lord, Sar, please.
That is
Sar,
shocking
take
from
a
Sarr.
touch, lad.
If that's along the ground, he's in. You fashion a
Just
chance
take
there.
a touch and then give it off. Oh, my God, Sar, that was shocking, man.
That's even worse from Bentancur. He had Batiste there. He didn't play him. Oh, my God.
Jesus, lads. We should have scored there.
Yeah.
We didn't even register a shot there.
I'd also argue, Walker, as well. I don't agree with Andrew's quotes, about continuing on their recruitment. Like, we need to bring in experienced players, my man. They start bringing in some players at the age of 26, 27, to go along with some of these young players. Because I do think we've got some good, young, talented players. It's just about matching it up now with the rest of the players that you need to make up a team that can win trophies. Here we go.
They had Alanga there. They had him in. Alanga is fast. Nearly beat Van de Ven in the race there. They played him in. Kulu out wide. Pedro. Well done.
Batiste! Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Not going to get a better chance all game. Oh, my fucking God. He hasn't even hit the target. I don't believe it.
The thing with Tell is that he's been very positive in these games, but he has missed some chances.
How has he not scored that?
Spurs, he has missed chances.
Oh, my Lord.
He's got to get that on target. At least. At the very minimum, he's got to get that on target. Oh, he just shanks it.
God.
He just shanks it.
That was a good chance, that.
We need to get this goal back as well before halftime. That was the chance.
But definitely agree with you, Nicholas Walker. Definitely agree with you, my man. RST says bench players laughing while 2-0 down. I played football for fun and my manager still would have blasted us. For that. No, look, 100%. Probably sums up the attitude, coming into today's game to a certain degree, maybe from some of the players' perspective. Not as motivated as a European game. No smiles last week. Everyone just done their job. It's not like, and again, people go, oh, they're allowed to joke and all, but it's perception. It matters.
He is right. I was going to point that out, Artist T, but I'm glad that you did. Madison laughing, Johnson laughing.
On to Wilson. Wilson, good cross the ball. Oh, my Lord, Richarlison. We could be 2-2. It's ridiculous.
How are we missing that? Oh, Lord.
That was his chance.
Team, man. Jesus.
That was his chance. Oh my God. We just can't score.
It's like, how much more can Wilson and fucking Tell do this game? Oh my Lord. Sarr gets in his way, but he's still got to bury that. Get out his way, but I don't even think that matters. I think he still buries
he's just
that.
Coming in behind him. Richardson's just got to bury that. There's
just
no
miscues the header. He just miscues it. It goes across his forehead.
You're not going to get an easy opportunity to score.
Just two right there, Dave. Two massive chances right there. And look at the goals that Forest have scored. Like Chris Wood, clinical with the chances he had.
Dumb. That's dumb from Romero. That's just a dumb yellow card to take. We're going to self-implode here. I could just feel it.
Fucking hell, man. We are just so wasteful.
That was the opportunity to get back in the game.
Romero's had some naughty challenges
He's had a
this
head
game.
loss there. Romero's had a complete head loss. It's two great chances to get back in the game. One from 6 yards or 8 yards out. The other one from 2 yards out. I don't believe it. Don't just allow a free ball in. Learn your lesson.
Get there, Wilson. Lovely touch from Wilson.
Oh,
well done by Maria.
Well done, Wilson. That's ours. That's ours. Give it to us. We need it. Good battle in there. Romero. Yeah, that's it. Let's slow it down and wait for 11 men to get behind the ball again. Good ball into Porro. Find someone. It's a good switch out to Tell. Can he take it down? It's a great touch.
Good cross.
Richie! Oh, fuck me. He's free. He still can't get it on target.
Had a bad.
What more can Tell and Ulibar do in this game?
I think Richie's had a poor first half because he missed the open sitter, but then also there's been service into the penalty area where he's just nowhere to be found.
That's a free header.
He's
got to get that on target. The centre backs pulled off him and allowed them.
Think of some of the crosses, Dave. Some of the crosses where he's just been nowhere. Like he's in the wrong place. He's having a poor game.
The thing is, that's going to affect him as well moving forward. At that point, you just need to take him off. Shocking. 3 massive chances to get back in the game.
Dave, I don't think you can really fault the wide areas. The wide areas have been very strong this game. They're doing their part. They're doing their job.
Midfield has been absolutely shambolic. Bentancur and Kulu and Sarr just being played through way too easy. They can't even get a glove on them.
And they've all been anonymous too. Bentancur, Sarr, Kulu, all anonymous.
Been in possession, been shit. Forcing Forest to go along. Targeting Pedro Porro, doubling up there again on him. He does absolutely unbelievable.
That was an unbelievable touch.
Can he fire an inspired ball off the back of it? Plays it into Odegaard's pad. It's a poor ball.
Play it down the outside, man. lets Tuffalo get in front of it. 3 minutes of added time.
Yeah, Pedro Porro, you can point all you want. Actually deliver it to him. Someone look for the ball. Don't all go hiding that once, eh?
Richie, donkey. Romero, good ball. Pedro, good ball.
Get it in, Wilson.
I got to cross it in
Maybe
sooner,
too
man.
long there, yeah.
You're nothing special. We get battered every week.
Honestly, I was just thinking I wouldn't be surprised to see, if we start chanting, "Are you Nuno in disguise?" Why are you even getting yourself into that trouble, Bentancur? Just go back to fucking Vicario.
Oh, and he's giving it away. Not even Jesus, man.
Change that midfield at halftime. You got to
change the whole midfield. I think you need to get Madison into the game if he's fit. Seems like a lot to ask of him. You got to
get him off as well. Get a doggy into the game.
Yeah.
DG says Udebur needs a raise.
Listen, man, like the wide players, I think they're doing their job. They're doing their part. They're providing service. They're causing problems to the fullbacks. They're getting us up the pitch as well, Udebur and Tell. They're helping us drive up the pitch. I think Richarlison has just been nowhere to be found on some of these crosses. And then the ones he has had, he's just done poorly with at the end of the day. And then the midfield, man, the midfield have just been poor in every facet. I don't even think the midfield have done anything well this game. I
haven't even laid a glove on them, Jacko.
Yeah.
Been shocking.
But when we do, we are going to have to, unfortunately, scathe this team at halftime. But I will exempt Tell and Udebur for the most part. I think they have done their job.
Well, they've tried. I think most people recognize that. That they've tried. They've been,
pretty successful.
They've done what we wanted them to do. It's just the other people around them, like fucking Richarlison, man. 2 free headers and he can't even hit the target. It's ridiculous.
Luke Mayo saying Jack's right. The XG has Tottenham on 1.23 and Nottingham Forest on 0.33. I mean, they're a clinical team, man. We're not. That's the other problem. They're a very clinical side for us. XG isn't everything, though, but it does sort of validate to some extent that, Spurs have had chances.
We've created good chances. Like, realistically, it could be 2-2 heading in here at halftime. Yeah. Look, it's not good enough that we went 2-0 down and we were so 100%. Shambolic defensively. Took fucking 20 minutes to wake up and 3 goals. You know what I mean? Nowhere near good enough. But, after that, we got a hold of the game. Tell and Udebur have tried. They're doing everything they can to put balls in the box. But none of the midfielders are getting in the box. And then when we do have chances, we haven't took any of them. Like, we should at least be heading into this with 1 goal there. Richarlison's had 2 brilliant chances. Matisse Tell, I mean, look, as good as he's been, what a fucking chance. He doesn't even hit the target. It's piss poor. But this sums up Spurs' season, though, Jack. You sleep at the other end, we get exposed, we can see goals. And then, when we do get in possession and we're going forward, we just don't have a lot of guile. We just don't have a lot of creativity, a lot of craft. We just don't know how to put the ball in the back of the net. There's no real fluidity to it. You know what I mean? It's just, and the midfield is absolutely non-existent. Bentancur has been absolutely shocking this half. Kulusevski coming back from injury, he's struggling to get into the game. Papa Massar, negative in possession. When he's had a chance to put crosses in the box, they've been poor. Honestly, it's just absolutely embarrassing. It just drives me mad. It's like there's a massive feel-good factor off reaching the semi-finals. You didn't go out here today. Don't concede inside the first 10 minutes. Just don't. Build on it from there like we done last week. We find ourselves 2-0 down. Could have been 3-0 down. It's absolutely unbelievable. This club makes it really hard to really rally behind it. It really does. As soon as there's a bit of goodwill factor, they suck it out 10 minutes into a game. It's just naive. It's not good enough. Now we're starting to see goals early in the game, which means to effect, because we're so shit going forward, the game's already beyond us within 5 minutes. It can't keep happening like that. It just can't. And to a degree, they can't just turn up for Frankfurt at the weekend and then just go, oh, I don't really care about today. I'll take it a little bit easy. That's why we found ourselves 2-0 down and could have been 3, because that was the attitude. Just take our foot off the gas. In possession, we've actually been decent enough. Out of possession, we've been absolutely shocking. Taking our foot off the gas, and all of a sudden now the game is beyond us. us. It's absolutely mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. You can't keep going with that fucking approach. It's not good enough.
Well,
Porro, that from minute one, that corner comes in, head it back out, head it out for a throw, and even pull it out for another corner. What you do not do is head it back out to the edge of the box, knowing they've got players queuing up there. You don't do it. Why did he do it? Brain dead. Then the second goal, straight out there to Alanga. Too long to get out there. Yeah, no problem. Have the cross. Have they not been watching Forest this season? Have they not been watching clips in the build-up to this game? That's trademark. Ball out wide, into the box for Chris Wood. We allow him to cross it. And then Vicario, God knows what that fucking lunatic is doing.
Man.
He comes out behind Chris Wood. You come out behind a player like him. You're leaving your goal open for him to tap it home. That's what happened. If you're going to come out, show some fucking cojones. Either go out in front of him or punch him in the fucking head. But don't come out behind him and pretend you're going for the ball, flapping around. It's not good enough. It's absolutely shambolic defensively. Going forward, Matisse Tell and Odegaard, two of the youngest players on this team, who I feel sorry for, are coming into a situation where we're asking them to be these creative geniuses and open the lock. We shouldn't be at that situation. And everyone else around them is letting them down. We came into this game, Jack, saying, today's about some of these squad players who are going to get their opportunity today to prove their worth ahead of the European semi-final. Not one of them have laid down a marker.
I just think we are being carried by two players, and Matisse Tell and Odegaard. They're doing their job. And then, honestly, I think the rest of the team, Dave, is just having shockers and are just not up for the match, or just simply just not having a good game at all. But we've seen that so many times this season in the Premier League. Vicario makes a huge mistake in that second goal that Chris Wood scores there. I just don't even know what the hell he's doing. He's coming out for a cross that I don't think he would ever get to be honest. But then also, like you're saying, he goes behind the player. Like, what's he expect? The ball to go through Chris Wood's head or something like that? Like there's going to be some glitch in the matrix or something like that. And then as well, Pedro Porro, he's just doing everything wrong in this game. Times when he's had opportunities to cross the ball first time, he opts to slow it down. He's given away possession far too many times. He's also defensively, once again, looking very shaky against the likes of Alanga. He's not closing down crosses. Romero also looks close to getting a red card this game. I would consider potentially taking him off, if you are planning on playing him in other Premier League games, because he seems to be losing his head the way things have gone there. Van de Ven, in my opinion, too, on some of the crosses, especially one that Vicario went for, just doesn't mark the man, just simply expects, someone else to deal with it when he's the center back. The midfield, what's there to say? Like, they've done, I think, nothing in this game. They've been poor in possession. Bentancur's had some bad giveaways in midfield. Kulusevski is just anonymous for a guy that is supposed to be the creative midfielder, for a guy that we've said before plays better through the middle anyways. I understand he's just coming back from a long injury, but still, he has looked very, very anonymous this game and isn't really trying anything. And when he did try something, it was the wrong time to. All he needed was just to hold up the ball, and he just couldn't. He tried something way too audacious. Pop Matasar at 1.2 had such a bad giveaway. He had open space and goes for this first-time pass to, I think, Kulusevski or Richarlison, that he bobs up into the air for no reason at all. Just take a touch, get turned, play it on the ground, play it on the floor,
quality,
score a goal from that. But somehow he found a way to cock that up. And then Richarlison, Dave, two massive chances for him.
I jinxed him.
One of them he has to score. The other one, a good striker would score. Chris Wood maybe on the other end of it.
He buries that.
He'd bury that. And then you'd say that some of the crosses that have gotten into the box from Odegaard, from Matisse Tell, he's standing in the wrong area, or he's not making the right movement. He's being very easily marked by Milenkovic. I agree, Milenkovic, great center back, very tough guy to navigate around, but Richarlison will just be standing like in the middle, like he's expecting it just to be absolutely placed on his head when, they're firing it across the 6-yard area. A really good striker would be throwing his body in front of that, would notice that that's the space to take up, and he's just not doing it. Clearly, again, he might be someone like Kulusevski, a bit rusty or something like that or another. Maybe you
don't miss them. Even if you're rusty, you don't miss them.
Have a brace, despite being very rusty. He could actually have a brace this game. So for me, Dave, we're being carried by two players, Odegaard and Tell. They're doing their part. And then the rest of the team, as I laid out there, have all had absolute shockers, I think.
Well, do you know what? But, Postecoglou deserves a bit of, criticism here as well. The one thing I said in the pre-match build-up, Jack, you got to go with Spencer and Udogie because of how, Forest utilised their wings and look to get the ball into the box, because they'll be able to deal with the threat defensively, but also turn that ball over and transition us going forward quickly. But Nuno's done his homework. He's just literally gone to an angle. Whatever side, if Porro plays, you go out there. You're on that side today. Run at him. It's just absolutely mind-boggling. I said you can't play this guy coming into this game. Why is he playing him? I get about player loyalty, but at the end of the day, if it's coming to a point where he's costing you goals, which is costing you games, which is putting more pressure on you, at some point you got to go, look, I appreciate what you've done for me for the last year and a half, but I got to take you out the team. At the end of the day, Jed Spence and Adogi have shown that they can handle the job defensively and going forward. Why take the risk of playing power in a game like today where you know they're going to utilise that wing? It's coming to the point, Jack, where every game he plays, he's becoming a target. And even when he doesn't play, like he didn't against Chelsea, their whole game plan is still hit it down that side until the manager changes up at half time and goes, oh, fuck, Porro's not playing. I may change my game plan. But it's coming to a point where they're just targeting him. Every time Forest get the ball, they're lumping it in down on Porro, and it's the same thing every week. One player goes to win the ball, one player running in behind Porro and isn't exposed. Not once has anyone copped on, said, right, I better go back and help Porro. But even at that, if you're pulling players out of their position to go and help a guy, stop fucking picking them. Stop playing them. I get it. He can
I think
cross
Udogi's not even on the bench, though. Do you think there's a knock there or something like that we're not aware of? Is there something?
Yeah, look, maybe, potentially. Maybe that is the case. But then be smarter, shuffle your options around. If you have to, fucking put Ben Davies left back and move Spence over to right back. Reality is you can't keep picking a player that's becoming a target. We're conceding a lot of goals. I remember we conceded one in the first minute against Brentford. Where did it come from? Down his side. Defensively, he's being exposed time and time again. Stop picking the guy. I like Pedro Porro. I think he's decent in possession. But there's a time and a place to play him. Right now, at this point in the season, he's the out-of-form fullback. Stop fucking picking him. You're causing your own problems at this point. It's absolutely brain dead.
I'd still say, too, like something to be mentioned that Vicario could also maybe take some blame for even the first goal. Like, I think I understand it takes a nasty deflection off of Bentancur, and also was a terrible clearance from Pedro Porro, but it did go through Vicario's hands and took like that slight deflection and maybe take some speed off of the shot as well. I think Vicario has had an absolute howler this game, at least, in terms of making saves. Just going to get to Jerome here, but we have Jacob Anderson saying, I said this before, guys, these players are models who happen to just play football. Feels that way, man. It just seems especially some of the guys just seem to turn it on when they want to and can't seem to put in, consistent sort of performances and effort. But good to see you, Jacob Anderson, in here with us. And then we also have Dave Jerome. I got to disagree with some of this on this, Jerome, but he is right about Tell missing his sitter, saying Forest have had massive center backs, but we keep crossing. I think you do have to keep crossing personally, Jerome. That is part of it. They play a deep, low block and they have big boys in the box, but you got to keep providing service and force them to defend something. And then he's saying Tell has been missing sitters. We can never keep the good feeling with this team. I think Tell did miss a massive sitter. There's no excuses there for me, Jerome. But I do think he's been positive and better than some of the other guys on the pitch. Like, he has done things, out there to get us up the pitch. And he has played some dangerous passes. He even followed up by saying Odebear is doing his job, but Tell is just running around without any input. Personally, man, I think that's harsh at the end of the day. I think Tell has actually been pretty positive down that left wing. I'm not saying he's having a worldie or anything, but I do think he's been pretty good at getting us up the pitch, and he's creating things for us as well. He did miss a sitter, though, to be fair, and he has missed sitters this season, Matisse Tell. He hasn't shown that he's necessarily a clinical player by any means, but he's been positive down that wing, man. To say he's had no input, I think would be harsh.
But this is where I find it harsh on these guys, though, Jack. Like,
I don't think
what
Tell's
did people
the one to blame.
expect? Did the people expect we were buying the finished product, the finished article? You're going to get this rawness. You're going to get the missing chances like that. That's what you get when you're buying in 18, 19-year-olds. This is what I tried to allude to and warning in the summer. It's going to be frustrating, And this is exactly what it is. Look, we shouldn't be going after Tell. We brought Tell in here to try and bag us goals, to keep us in the keep us in Europa League, get us into a League Cup final, push us up the Premier League and the FA Cup. A guy that sits on the bench every week. He was always going to be impossible. Look, at the end of the day, he's showing bright sparks out. Him and Spence are working it down that left-hand side. They're getting inside their men. They're putting balls in the box. Same with Udebird down that side.
Skin there, man.
We're not getting enough options in the box. At times, we're getting the ball in. You've only got Rich. He's up against Marino and Milinkovic. It's hard to find a guy like that. You need to get your midfielders running in. It's simple. With Richarlison, if he goes back post, you get your midfielder running in front post and the other two sitting in and around for the pullback. Or vice versa. If he goes front post, one midfielder goes back post and the other two still get in and around, waiting for the pullback. It's not difficult, but the midfielders don't want to get in the box. They don't want to commit because they don't want to do all the running going that way. It's shambolic, absolutely shambolic. I honestly hope there's a rollicking at halftime. He makes 4 or 5 subs, because if he doesn't, a lot of games this season, and I know this is in Drew's wheelhouse. We've conceded a lot of goals this next 15 period out of halftime. We've also lost a lot of games. We could easily go 3-4 down very, very quickly. If we think that Nuno is not telling this to his squad to get out there, press the issue for the next 15, let's kill this game off, we're sadly mistaken. So these players better come out with a fucking different attitude. Just honestly, just embarrassing. Just fucking embarrassing. Like, we can sit here and say Matisse telling who the bar are doing their job. They're trying, but at the end of the day, everyone else has been absolutely dog shit. And the fact that we're 2-0 down and we're huffing and puffing, it's disgraceful. We've Tottenham fucking Hotspur. We shouldn't be in this position.
I can agree with that. Moondog saying, I still want Ange out. I'm sick of this shite. Listen, man, I mean, it would be already so many losses in the Premier League. I'm not trying to defend Ange very much, but this might be delusional. Feel free, as always, everybody, to scathe me in the chat for saying this. But I think Nuno has done his homework, to cause us problems in this game. Nuno is that type of manager. He definitely has exposed Ange before. In this game, though, I would put more blame on the players. Like, Vicario, in my opinion, needs to take responsibility in some regard for both goals. He needs to save the first one, in my opinion. And then the second goal, like, to be honest, it's a great finish from Chris Wood. Maybe he doesn't end up saving that, but Vicario just makes it an easy goal for him by just coming out trying to claim that. Like, he just shouldn't be doing that, Vicario. It's 2 big mistakes from him. And then I'd say there are other guys in the team like Pedro Porro, Bentancur, who are just having howlers of performances out there that I just don't know if Ange, again, can really be all to blame for it, if you get what I mean. But surely, he has also been exposed to some extent, with the likes of Elanga, the likes of Chris Wood, the balls into the box, some of the line breaking passes through the midfield. They've done their homework on us, but Spurs could also be 2-2, like easily 2-2 in this game. Richarlison's had 2 massive chances. Tell's had a massive chance. So this game could actually still be up for grabs. I still put a lot of blame on the players for this one, Moondog. That being said, it is going to be, what is it? Potentially 21 losses, 22 losses, on the season. There's only so much blame I can even give on the players. The manager does need to take responsibility for that. It's just, for me, it's delusional. It's delusional to say this, probably, but I still would put more blame on the players for this game.
Look, I do think, to a degree, look, I said it in the pre-match build-up. I said after Europe, usually on the weekend, there's a hangover. That first 15, 20-minute period is going to be crucial. Can't concede goals there. We ended up did. But you got to blame Ange for picking Pedro Porro. He's a target every game. Every single game. I'm saying the exact same thing. Long ball over his head, one going to win, one running in behind. You can't keep picking him. At what point do you go, okay, I'm sorry, I can't have you go through this every week, because no matter how good we are in possession or how well we keep it, we're always going to give up a chance or two down that side. We've seen it time and time again this season, even when we have been good in possession. We give up one chance and the game's gone. Can't keep doing it. Can't keep picking Pedro Porro. Stop ignoring the signs. Just have an honest conversation with the guy. I know he played well the other night, to a large degree. But you got to look at who you're coming up against, knowing that the sort of wingers that they're going to put out there and stuff. You got to go, I'm sorry, this game doesn't suit you today. He doesn't have that ability to do that.
Then Moondog saying, don't get me wrong, Jack, I blame all of them. Moondog, I'm not saying you didn't. Like, it's one of those games where I might just have to stick my neck out, and probably embarrass myself by just saying I do think the players, once again, though, need to take a lot of blame for that first half and the fact that those 2 goals, in my opinion, that we did concede. Forest haven't had a lot of chances. They really haven't. They haven't peppered our goal that much.
No.
But the 2 goals that have gone in, I would say you're more responsibility of the players than it really is the tactics or anything like that. Like I said, poor cross or poor clearance from Pedro Porro and really, really poor goalkeeping, I think, from Vicario on both occasions. So I just personally put more blame on the players for this one. But I also am seeing things from your end as well, Moondog, where, like, I can't blame the players every time when you're losing over 20 games in a single season. Like, manager at some point does take responsibility. So Moondog, I think you and I are actually on the same exact page. We are about to get kicked off in the second half, though, but please, everybody, take a look at the top of the chat. Exclusive NordVPN deal. Please, everybody, take a look, especially if you are struggling to find a game. I saw a few comments there in the chat about that. Some people are finding it hard to get a stream for it. Move yourself over to a different country, move yourself over to the USA, whatever other country there might be that is airing this game. So you don't have to go to any dodgy websites or anything like that, corrupt your computer or corrupt your phone. Also, as well, if you are in search for a VPN, you can use our code FLATCAP, get yourself a 2-year plan. plenty of reasons to have one when you're traveling, going on vacation, get access to your Netflix, get access to, whatever series you might be in the middle of. If you're watching, I don't know, the Formula One, you're watching, a good show on HBO, Paramount, all that stuff. Don't have to stress about, not having access to it when you go to a different country or a different place. You can still be able to watch all your favorite TV shows and all that type of thing. And then also when you're on public Wi-Fi's, whether it's the airport, train station, various places, you can have your data stolen from you. You can have your passwords taken, bank details, all that scary stuff. So it's good to have a VPN on, because then you can turn on threat protection and make sure that you're able to, keep your data secure. And then lastly, you can share it up to 10 devices. You can share it up to the whole family. All you need is just one plan. Then the whole family can benefit from it. So if you're in search for a VPN, take a look at ours, NordVPN. Grab yourself a 2-year plan. Get 3 extra months free. I think 4 extra months free. 30-day money back guarantee.
Oh, right at the last. So it's that last decision bit of making. Big up NordVPN. Matisse Tal done a great one down the wing and then just overcooks it. Oh, this sums up Tottenham, man. It just sums us
Great
up.
play.
Gets you initially erect, and then it just ends
Just
in a
a
flop.
little heavy touch at the end there.
Oh.
Samuel Shepard, thank you for the positive support. Samuel saying the only positive is doing the Watchalong with you lads. Shame that it takes 2 goals for us to even get some urgency in our play. Also genuinely curious to seeing how Nottingham go in Champions League next season. Of all the teams to get Champions League, I wouldn't mind seeing Nottingham Forest actually go to the Champions League just for the novelty of it. Also because younger fans like myself weren't around for when they were a more successful team. But the sad thing about it, Samuel, is seeing teams like Aston Villa, teams like Nottingham Forest get to the Champions League, instead of us. It's a damning indictment, of this manager, of also the ownership, more importantly, the ownership, and just also these players and whatnot, because the fact that these sort of teams are getting in there instead of us is pretty embarrassing. We brought, in this big new stadium, all that type of things, to be in the Champions League on a consistent basis. And it's only gone backwards since then.
And
So
again,
it's very, very disappointing, Samuel. But I do appreciate the love that you're showing to us, man. Thanks for being here with us throughout these watch-alongs. Very, very kind to us, sir.
Big up. But it's also hard to ignore, though, Jack, that this guy took a risk, spent beyond their means, and then found a loophole to get out of it, just like every other owner does. You know what I mean? And yet we're the ones that always playing it safe, can't spend this. We already got the report, not going to spend any extra. I mean, you don't. You're going to have a club in the Championship very, very fucking quickly. You know what I mean? This is the thing. You got other people coming up going, do you know what? I've got nothing to lose. Let's take the risk. We'll find a way out of it, like they always do, but we don't want to. That's why they're sitting there in Champions League now. Look where we fucking are.
Yeah. Thanks for being with us, Samuel. Very, very kind, generous support from you. Yeah, it's damning indictment, man, of Tottenham Hotspur that teams like Forest are getting into the Champions League before us, or teams like Aston Villa are getting in before us. And, they're competing so much more. It is a damning indictment, man. And the Premier League is only getting more and more competitive each passing season. So Spurs are falling behind.
Especially when you get more people coming in taking risks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Very, very kind of you, Samuel. And then Simon Gibbs, just quickly, Simon, thank you for the support, my man. You did put in a comment, though, and I saw it earlier, and I'm trying to find it again, so I apologize. I will try to find it for later, Simon. I just want to say thank you for the donation. Thank you for the support. But I know you put in the super chat with nothing in it, but then I did see a comment somewhere from you that was definitely something to bring up. Oh, here it is. Sorry. Our team has no spine. It's shit from back to front. Davies for Romero, Bergvall all for Bentancur, Gray for Sarr, Matters for Kulu, Don for Ritchie. Listen, the whole midfield needs to be subbed off, and Romero is a step away from a red card here, so I don't mind actually taking Romero off for this game.
He's brought on Danzon Davies for Mickey van der Ven and Romero, has he?
Yeah, but it looks like he's kept the midfield the same, which I think the midfield needed to be changed up. It really did. Good ball, though, from...
Oh, come on. He's not even there. Fucking hell, Bentancur. That's just lazy, man. Be aware of your surroundings. There's no one near you. Just take it in.
But Simon, man, there needed to be changes in midfield, but I agree with your changes about the back line, and we've gotten that so far, man. I mean, it's like 4, 5, 6 players, pretty much more than half of the 11, man, have had absolute howlers tonight in terms of performances. Pedro Porro, decent ball in a Kulu.
Just can't get the flick on.
Jerome saying, okay, we are losing this game or that game. Davies on, and Alenga is going to rinse him. maybe he's questioning the substitutions there.
I think if Romero's on the yellow and it looks like he's starting to get a bit of a head loss, I think you had to take him off. Understand the point, though. It's concerning. But look, this is why I keep saying squad's got to be better than what we're building it. Because you have to make changes.
Bentancur's so poor to react.
Get him off as well. He's starting to piss me off today.
Yeah, I think there needs to be changes made in midfield, Jerome. But with Davies coming on, it's probably to preserve Mickey Van de Ven, man. But let's hope there's no injury there, because if there's an injury there, we are screwed for the Bodo Glimt game.
It's customary, though, isn't it? A player's getting a new contract. You got to give him minutes, so everyone can applaud them.
We'll see how Davies can handle the storm, man. We'll see how he can.
Go on,
Danzo here, though.
Have it.
Good ball.
Oh, that's a good ball.
Hell,
Dan, we just do the right things, and then it's
sorry,
Pop
Matasar with the heaviest touch.
It's always that final piece, Jack. That touch or that shot or that ball. It's always the final piece. That is a great ball from Danzo, by the way. You couldn't dream of a better one. Into your path on the half turn, and he takes a touch like that. Fucking hell, sir.
Dark Sun G correcting by saying Alenga is out. Well, that's a relief. Not sure why that's the case.
Probably brought on Hudson Odoi, did they?
I mean, yeah, this is a team that you don't want to be 2-0 down to. This is a team that knows how to see out a lead.
This way, I just want the game to be blown up so I can go and eat my fucking burger. Starving.
Has that been the choice? Feels like we've been hearing burgers a few times, Dave. Oh, Pop Matasar here. Matisse Tal.
Oh
my gosh. How many heavy passes have there been when it's the easier? We've done the hard part so many times. So many times we do the hard part, and then it's something like that. Jeez. Dave, distract me. I feel like you've been having some burgers, recently. Has that been the meal of choice?
See, I'll just have a burger. I won't have chips or anything else now with it. I'll just have a burger as
nice.
Yeah. What's going on with my fucking mouse? Everything's going to shit today. Jesus Christ. I just need the ball to hit the back of the net to give me some sort of hope.
Yeah.
To nobody. Fucking let's go, Kulu. Please break. Bit of quality now on the final pass. To Porro. Wrong ball. Give it to Udapar. Good ball by Porro. Flicked on.
Sar, man. Why are you even attempting that, lad?
At least we're starting to get midfielders into the box. It's progress. Slow progress. It's a good ball by Porro, that. And they're going to take ages on every set piece and run this clock down. Oh, Danzo, he's over. He's got underneath it. Well done, Porro. What are you doing, Richie? That's embarrassing. Get off your ass and fucking go, Chase. Long ball. Oh, that's weak from Davies. Now they're in behind. It's 3-0. Oh, he's missed it. That's just weak. He gets outdone by Morgan Gibbs-White and then out-sprinted in behind. That is weak from Ben. Absolutely weak. 80 grand a week for that. You taking the piss? Look at that. He's embarrassed. Look. And the thing is, he doesn't even have the nous to stay switched on and straight away just run backwards. He stands there waiting for a minute. It's unbelievable. Look. I'll ball watch for a minute and then I'll run in behind. Fucking get on your jets. Idiot. We're 2-0 down. Standing there ball watching that 2-0 down and we wonder why we can see goals. That's laughable from Davies. Absolutely laughable. And Danzo as well getting underneath that header.
Get there, Rich.
There, Richie.
Oh, why are we attempting that? We are so shit. What Pop Matasar, man? You're being a terrorist out there, lad.
Just blowing a full-time whistle already. Honestly, we'll just.
What are we doing there, though? Like, seriously, why are we attempting that?
May as well just not watch any other games now until the Europa League at this point. It's the way they're going to act.
Well,
The way
Spurs
they're going
could.
to play.
I mean, I'm fucking delusional here, but Spurs should have 2 goals this game
We
at the
should at
very
least have
least.
one anyway. Yeah, for sure. I've
That's the
definitely have the
fucking
chance to have a
frustrating bit.
couple.
We just should. Like any pub
Another
team
free
would have
header.
scored some of these chances. I mean, Richarlison should have a brace. Matisse Tell should have scored. Even those few moments right there between Tell and Pop Matasar, one of those should end up in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Or at least a shot on target, for crying
Yeah.
out loud.
Yeah, that's the thing. At least on fucking target.
So I'm again, I'm not trying to defend Ange by saying that, but fucking hell, man, these players, they make it look so hard. They make it look so hard.
Like, we've actually dominated possession, but what have we what have we done with it? We've dominated the possession. We've done absolutely zilch with it.
In terms of actual end
Oh
product,
my
yeah.
God, Danzo. You got bailed out there by the referee. Get off his back, you absolute twit. Come on, let's go, Davies. Play that forward. Let's go, Spence. Turn. Come on, move that fucking ball. Let's go. Move yourself, Spence. There we go. We have to slow it down and go back to your centre back. Fuck me. What is he going to carve open with the ball? Seriously? Oh my God,
Richie, man.
Richarlison. And the thing is, Kulu stood there 10 minutes going, are you going to move for me or what? Do you know?
I was behind Odebear as well. Bentancur, man. Yeah, the whole midfield needs to be changed. I'm sorry. Ange has changed the back line, but he hasn't changed anything that will actually impact this game. If we are to win this game or get back into this game, midfielders need to be changed.
Yeah.
And potentially Solanke needs to come on.
Yeah. Look, I'll give him. Richarlison's had his opportunity. He could have added the brace today. He hasn't. Take him off.
And I think you need to take off Sarr and Bentancur at least. Bring on Gray. Give Gray his opportunity in midfield. Might as well.
I mean, the game's done and dusted. May as well start trying these things.
Well, they can't play any worse.
Exactly.
They can't. That's the logic I'm going by. Sarr cannot play any worse. Bentancur can't play any worse. Kulu maybe needs the minutes and he's rusty, so I'll give him a slight break, but he has been anonymous.
We've been outclassed.
I'll give Kulu a slight pass in comparison to the others. Knock of the heads there between Jet Spence and Gibbs White. Is he giving that as a free kick, though? That is not a free kick. They hit each other, man. They hit each other. Give it to Bentancur.
Davies onto Danzo. Back to Vicario, going through our little patterns again. Can we get the ball into a player that can actually play a pass forward? Thank you. Let's go, Spence. Into Tell. Tell's phasing out of this game this half.
Yeah,
Hasn't really got going. Same as Udebur.
Yeah. Well, the issue is that Nuno is a defensive-minded manager, so what he's done is that he's taken off Alanga, and I think he's brought, oh my God, Kulu. Holy shit. And holy shit, bro.
I need a minute.
I mean, Dave, Nuno, the issue is that Nuno, he's taken off a forward, and he's brought on an extra center back, which is going to make life even more difficult for us. But then he's also, I think, brought on Ryan Yates, who's just, as few people have mentioned in the chat, he's a thug of a player. He's just going to kick the shit out of us for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Ryan Yates. So Nuno is going to make the game a lot harder for us if we even stand a chance of coming back.
That's just why you don't concede to them first. You know what I mean? I need a minute. I'm gonna blow my top. I can't. This is so bad. It is so bad. Kelly Snow says, "Why are we so bad in the Premier League this year? We never score." Look, we're so bad going forward because we bought in a load of relegation fodder and some players that we've saved from the Championship and tried to form a front line out of them after tearing apart the best front line, one of the best, most deadliest front lines in Europe. It's absolutely fucking mind-boggling what we've done, honestly. And in terms of the Premier League, why we're so bad, I think it's a case the players gave up on it a fucking long time ago, to be quite frank.
Especially going forward, Kelly, anytime that Spurs get a good chance, I mean, they make it look so hard. Like, we're talking open net sitters at times, and they will miss it. Or even just the simplest of passes where they do the hard part, and then they can't do the easy part. Even right there with Kulu. It's just we make it look so difficult, Kelly. Anytime we get into a good area in the final third, we make it look so hard. You watch it. I've said this before to Dave in watchalongs. You watch any other Premier League team or even just any other half decent side, these teams will take half chances, quarter chances, and bury them. Whereas Spurs will have a clear practical sitter in a game, like a game, like one that you would look at and be like, any good team would bury that, and they won't even get a shot on target from it. They'll somehow find a way to cock it up that bad from very, very easy opportunities and moments. We just make the game look so hard, Kelly. Oh my gosh, we nearly give it away there.
We could be playing for 4 hours here. We're still not going to score.
And
the thing is, we
should have at least two goals. We should.
But when you're missing from 2 yards out like Richarlison, DG, it's just never going to be your day. But unfortunately, it's just been too common, man.
Dave would have finished 2 of these chances today, at least.
It's embarrassing. Oh no, it's off the line. I don't believe it's still not going to score. See, it's just never going to score. What defending, whoever cleared that.
Yeah, seriously. Good foul.
Just won the ball there, no?
Fucking hell.
Come on, check your watch.
It already would buzz.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, what a clearance. Did Bentancur won it? No, it was Kulusevski. What a header.
Oh.
What a clearance. Just our fucking luck as well.
Yeah.
The problem is, though, is that's the hardest of the chances that would have gone in the back of the net. Like, that's like, I mean, you don't expect a player to score from there that often. And, yet we've cocked up easier chances than that. That's actually very well done by Kulu. He's unlucky.
If we lose this
those are the chances you're fine. Those are the chances you're actually fine with missing. Those are the chances you're fine with missing. The ones that we have missed are just unacceptable.
If we lose today, again, we haven't took our chances. It's embarrassing. Got to score goals to win games.
The story all season.
We're trying to play out from there. Thank you, Spence. Thing is, if one goes in, this game changes. We're... Oh, Danzo, please. Good ball. Oh, it's just under here. Being outdone by Nuno. Fuck me. "25 minutes of the horror show left."
Oh, my Lord. Is that Bentancur again? Please take him off, Ange. Take him off. He's already your first choice midfielder anyways. He's had a shocker today. Just take him off.
The fact we haven't The fact we haven't made a change in midfield is concerning.
Ange, man, please.
This game is just getting worse the more it goes on.
Ange just doesn't help himself,
They're
man. The
looking
fucking
more
subs.
and more amateur.
Get players on, dude. Make changes. Brennan Johnson. Fuck me, man. He's going to take off Odebear, too. He's probably been our brightest player. He's taking off fucking Odebear, I bet.
Please, Solanke, I need you today, man.
I need a fucking LaCroix. I need a water. This is just shit. Please take off a midfielder, Ange. Take off a midfielder. Any one of them. Brenda Johnson.
Oh, good tackle. Danzo into Porro. Come on, we got to create a chance here. Look at Kulu. Oh my God, Porro. Fucking hell. Richie! Oh, he's missed. Udeber. Oh, honestly, that is shocking from Pedro Porro. All he's got to do is play it into Kulu's feet there. It's absolutely embarrassing. Oh, just make the subs and let's get on with this game. Just blow it up. We could be here for 4 hours this evening and we ain't going to score. Look at that from Porro. It's just so nonchalant. It's unbelievable. We're 2-0 down and he's dicking about in possession like that. It's fucking unforgivable. It even breaks to Richie because we're fortunate, and even then he doesn't have the nous to lift it over the goalkeeper. And now Sal's going to eat about 3 minutes out of the clock. Nothing wrong with him. Kulizeski comes off for Solanke.
And Odebear's off for Johnson.
And Odebear off for Johnson. She's gone 2 up top now. She changed the formation. Think so.
Wow. Did I miss something there?
Yeah, fucking Porro had an easy pass into Kulu, puts it behind him, of course. Then the Forest player balloons the ball off one of their own players, falls into Richie's part. Lot of fairness, Matt sells out quick onto it, but honestly, just like I said, we could be like, you know, the ball from Porro's an easy one into Kulu's part, one touch, gets a shot off, and he plays it straight to a Forest player. It's unbelievable. It's if Solanke can fucking put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Please. Just get one goal.
Somebody.
We can fucking go for a draw here.
Just somebody. Need Solanke or Richarlison, though, to drop deep at times. Anzo, he has to go.
Oh,
Jesus.
Lord.
Oh,
Jesus. Please.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
He needed somebody to come short for it, though. He did, but that's still shocking from him. But no one was coming towards the ball. He needs somebody to come towards the ball there.
Then,
He took it all the way up the pitch.
It's just a 5-yard pass.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is.
You know,
it's not an excuse.
It's gone out for a throw-in. Like,
I don't know why he's taking off Wilson Odebear, though. That was probably our best chance of scoring a goal.
I think he's hoping Johnson will get on the end of one of Tell's crosses, but sure he hasn't got crossing this half.
I'd argue that.
You know what game he's watching?
I'd argue that Odebear was better than Tell, even though Tell was all right this game. Because Pedro Porro, Dave's been a shocker down that right side, but Odebear's still been able to do well despite that.
Dan Coy says, so looking forward to renewing my €1,400 season ticket. Fuck me. Is that what they're at now?
Honestly, man.
And this is the shit they produce for you.
Dan, I'd consider this, man. More watch-alongs and just maybe consider a golf membership or something if that's your thing. You know, you can probably go to a nice golf club for that amount.
Yeah.
Seriously. Maybe if you're bowling, you know, if you're into bowling.
You can still go and get a Hotspur membership and, you know, go to some
the
games or whatever.
And go to a game.
What I would say is, and I do understand it, you give up your season ticket. It does take a long time to build all that back up, all your points back up and stuff like that. It's not just as easy to do, Dan. Look, at the end of the day, I'd always say to people, you know, renew it. You know, you renew it. Like, you can still make your voice heard by going to the Change for Tottenham protests and stuff like that. But, you know, it's very hard to give it up, man. I wouldn't do that personally. Alfred, Pav would have scored some of them goals today. You're spot on. Big Pavlyuchenko.
Thank you, though, Dan Coys, for the support, man. Thanks for supporting us.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Dave is probably right. You don't want to lose the season ticket. I mean, there are a lot of people who pay for the season ticket despite, how much they
And the
feel
thing is,
disillusioned, with Levy and everything like that. A lot of people still do it, and I don't blame them because, everyone at the day loves football and everybody has a club.
yeah,
It's just Spurs. They do make you fucking want to rip your hair out.
yeah.
Good ball from Spence. How do they get the block there?
Something our fullbacks never can do.
If he doesn't get the block there, it's almost a goal. We had so many players in the box.
But that's more like it. They're the balls we should be playing. In behind like that.
And Richarlison made a good run, or actually held up his run very well, very cleverly.
That's what you need. You need one running in and one holding that back. What we don't want is two of them making the same run.
Oh,
please,
my God. Richie.
It's still.
Richie, be ready, man.
How many chances has that fucker had today?
Oh, he's just got his. He doesn't even get his feet or his body
Carrie,
sorted at
don't
all.
start putting your foot on the ball now. We're 2-0 down.
What are you taking a touch for?
Fucking bozo.
What are you taking a touch for?
Davies, you don't do it either. Come on.
Oh, my God. Sideways pass when he has Bentancur right there. It takes us 12 seconds to get it to Bentancur.
12 passes as well. 12 seconds, 12 passes. Ridiculous. One pass and let's go. 2-0 down. Where's the urgency? Yeah, wait for the overlap. So predictable. Fucking give it to me. Standing there, screaming for it.
Come short. Someone come short.
Go, Danzo. Oh, Danzo! On the left peg.
I don't blame him again. Solanke and Richarlison both standing. One of them needs to come short for it.
I mean, look, why can't others do this? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not difficult. Shot opens up, have it. And that's on his weaker foot, by the way. You know what I mean? At least he's being brave. We're waiting for a set. He's come on. He's played probably the best pass of the evening into Sarah, and he's also looked bright. Why is our centre-backs taking this risk? Where's your midfielders, front players, wingers? Do it. Good control.
And I just want a proper window this summer.
Yeah, 100%. Look, that's where it all went wrong in the first place, was the transfer window in the summer. It's where things have gone tits up. It was always doomed to fail after that window. Especially when you're selling your marquee player, you're ripping apart your supposed to elite forward line. You got away with it last season, and then you think, okay, double down on that, bring in a bit more quality. No, let's turn to kids. And you can't blame the kids in this situation. Not their fault. Danzo over top to Slanky. Oh, come on, Richarlison. Make the run off him. Gamble.
Slanky's got to be stronger there, I think. But
no, he's going to score, isn't he? Won't he?
And he's useless.
Fuck me, Danzo's gone under a couple of them, hasn't he? Oh, Porro, what is that? Is this what we're resorting to? Burnley tactics. Back to your keeper. Back to Danzo. Just lift it. There we are. Simple football. Thank you. Oh. Right, Davies, we don't need 16 touches. You got options. Just play it. If he's done all that to go back, I swear to God. Do we not understand that we're 2-0 down and we're trying to score goals? You've got to keep pressing the issue.
Bentancur.
One touch, move it. Please get it out to our dangerous players. Thank you. Right, we've got two strikers. Are we actually going to cross it? Thank you.
Richie.
Oh, my God.
He's been useless,
oh,
man.
my
He has been.
God.
He has. It's like playing with 10 men with him on the pitch today.
If he just knocks that down, we've Johnson and Solanke there.
He's missed a wide open chance for Richarlison. He's then had another chance that Chris Wood, someone who thankfully is coming off, would have buried 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10. And then when he's challenging for headers like that, he's actually clearing it for us or clearing it for Forrest. It's shocking. Vicario, man, what was he doing for that
Echo,
goal?
man. I wouldn't leave Burnley if I were you. They'll beat us next season. Yeah, that's the sad fucking thing about it. Honestly, off today's basis and just looking at it, it's just like being outclassed by Nuno is hard. Watching us being able to just not even execute the basics is hard. And I'm just at the point where, even winning Europa League, I don't think I can tolerate this in the Premier League next year. I just can't. I can't. Don't let that go out.
How would you let that go across you as well?
Well done, Spence. Keep going.
Well
brilliant, Spence. Can we float it in? Got 2 strikers in there.
Oh, it's another heavy.
And we put it out over
Too
the
heavy,
byline.
man. How many times do we overhit the cross? How many times do we overhit the cross? How many times do we overhit the cross?
Every time, lad. It's becoming incessant. Oh, take a touch, please. Now we're just resorting to long ball. Pump it up onto the big man. Can't even get it close to them either. That's the thing.
Dan Green saying, fair play to you both for doing these watch-alongs with the draws we're served up this season. I think Dave, as much as we got a huge high from Thursday night, I think Dave is reaching a breaking point with these, with these games, man. It's definitely been, it's just sometimes it's so frustrating to have to watch, these players, like I've been saying tonight, make things look so hard that are so simple.
The thing is, when you're so vulnerable across the back line, you're relying, you can see the goal at any moment, and we honestly we're just so lackluster going forward. What are we even watching? We're just watching 11 guys pass the ball side to side. That's all you're watching.
I think Dave and I would have scored tonight, Dan Green, with some of these chances. Genuinely. I'm an awful footballer. I'm a Yank as well. Like, double whammy. And I would have buried some of these chances.
And then what annoys me even more is every press conference, player or manager, I know, but we got to get out and support the team. It's like, I'm watching 11 guys pass it around on 80 grand a week and do absolutely zero with possession and out of possession being ran ragged. I'm still here. I'm just sick of hearing it. In fact, when can it be just, I want performances? And as soon as you say that, you're told you're this, you're that, how dare you expect? And it's like, well, fuck, they expect my support every fucking game. I'm still here watching this shit. When can I demand performances? When can we demand something back? Danzo's had more touches than anybody in this half. It's embarrassing. I'm not against him. He's trying. But it's your centre-back.
Johnson. Thank you, though, Dan. Very, very kind. Oh, my Lord. Johnson and Porro just got absolutely cleaned.
Oh.
Take it forward, Ben.
And it's tough, man. We've also got Chase Mullins in the house. Big up, Chase. Good to see you back again. Hopefully you're keeping well. Says, I don't care what position we are in. I cannot stand losing. If there is nothing to play for.
Even if there's nothing to play for.
Yeah.
If you're unbothered by this, you're also the problem. I think a lot of us still wanted to see a good performance at least. And that's the problem, Chase, is that, we're just seeing a team, like I'm saying, just make things look so difficult. They should at least have 2 goals. They should be in this game. I don't think Forest have outplayed us that much, to be honest. We're our own worst enemy, and we're just a team that makes it so much harder on ourselves than we need to. That's a frustrating bit. Play Richarlison there.
Oh, no, we'll go backwards. Yep, safe option. And what's Porro going to do? Put in a good pass, Ricky! What a save.
Oh, how many chances tonight?
What a save. That was a good save. I'll give him that. He was down quick. He was down fucking quick.
They've had a clearance off of the line, and then that was an unbelievable save.
But But Chase, look, I agreed. I said coming into this game, it's not a free hit. You got to win games of football. It's what you got to do. You got to try and build on a goodwill factor. If you don't win games of football, you win a Europa League. It's not enough to keep the guy in the good job because people look at the Premier League and go, well, that's 38 games. I can't take this shit. You got to win games of football. At the end of that's what we're here. That's what we're in the business of doing, trying to win games. That's why we sit here, support, wish, dream, hope. No matter how much it tells us it can't be done, we still sit here thinking we can. Oh my God, we are never going to score.
If we somehow go without scoring tonight, damning
should be
indictment.
4-2 up. That's another great ball in.
Great
Richie,
ball by
your head on
Johnson.
it.
Great ball by
Blanky
Johnson.
standing there as well. Gamble. Oh.
You cannot fault the wide players tonight. You really cannot. The wide players have given all the service you could ask for. Even Johnson's putting in crosses. Fuck me.
That's a weak corner.
Faz Radfar. Look at our system though. Watch the midfield. It's not. And should need as much as I have been majority blaming the players, Chase, for this performance, and should have made changes in midfield. The fact that he's kept Bentancur on that long, the fact that he's also kept Pamatasar on as long as he did. Kulusevski, I'd give a slight break to some degree, but he was also anonymous. It's just the midfield needed to be changed at halftime.
Look, I think ultimately you lose a game. People are going to question Ange and stuff. It's just another defeat on the calendar. It's going to happen at the end of the day. And look, these players, they say they still want to play for them. You got to prove that every game. Again, you can't pick and choose. And look, to a degree, the defender switched off early, not good enough, and we didn't take our chances, nowhere near good enough. I do understand what you're saying to a certain degree. You can't pin it all on Ange, but, it's every game, man. At what point does it not, does it become his problem? Do you know what I mean, Faz? And look, you know me, I'm fair. I'm not one of these that'll just hop on something because it's popular at, and, I have my opinion, I'm fair with it. But at what point then do you not pin it? Do you start looking at him when it's the same thing every game? And look, don't get me wrong. It's probably a bit hypocritical of me because I am one of them. I don't believe the quality's there, to execute this properly, to a large degree. But, the thing is in football, it's cheaper to change the manager than it is change your squad. Oh, my, we're never going to score. We are never, ever going to score. 8 minutes, just get over and done with now. We are putting balls across that box and it just won't go in. Terry Wright says we're getting used to losing, and that's a big problem. Absolutely spot on.
Yep, spot on, Terry.
Paxton then, domination of the midfield was wins games in the modern game. Look, it's always been like that, to a large degree. You win your midfield battle, 9 times out of 10, you win the game. If I see them passing between themselves again at 2-0 down, I'm going to lose it. Go on, Ben. Positive. Oh, my God.
Another overhit cross. Misses 4 players.
Give it to him, Porro, today.
Terrible cross, Porro.
Gee, that sums it up.
Let it go to Tell as well.
That just sums it up. So many players taking the wrong option. Porro avoids Bergvall when he just wants the ball to turn and shoot. He puts in a shit cross. Spence goes to put on it. It goes out fucking to the ball boy. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. Leighton Evans says we can play all night. Yeah. We're never going to score. Absolutely spot on.
Yeah. 100%. Faz Radfar saying, I agree, Dave, but at this stage of the season, we have to accept the league form.
Look, I'll never accept it. I understand the point you're trying to get across. Like, our eggs are in Europa League. I'll never accept it. You know me. I just want to win. I even if there's no hope, I still think, personal pride to a certain degree, You know what I mean, Faz. But I do get you. Chase Mullins with the super chat. He says, one win doesn't paper over the cracks we've had all season. I can't see Ange staying. Even if we win Europa, the league performances aren't enough. No, absolutely fair point. Absolutely fair point. Look, I made the point, on last one of Spurs yesterday and today. You got to be winning these games. You can't just rely on winning Europa League and hopefully it's enough to keep you in your job. You got to give fans belief that you can get results in the Premier League. You have to.
Ben Davies getting bullied so easily there.
And he's jogging back with his hands up looking for the referee to bail him out. Embarrassing. Hudson
Why?
Odoi
Why do we
plays
want Ben
tomorrow.
Davies to stay? Why on earth do we want Ben to stay? Chase, like, yeah, man, and also like even Ruben Amorim said it. The league, where you finish in the league, is kind of usually a reflection of the team. It's 38
Yeah.
games over a course of a season. Yes, there can be injuries. Yes, you can have this that went against you. Blah blah blah. It's a cliche for a reason, like it's a commonly held point that the league form is usually an indictment of the team, is a reflection of the team.
Mm,
And Spurs are damn close to finishing 17th in the
yeah.
Premier League.
That's
And
not
I'd
acceptable.
argue when on the balance of the season, we probably have looked like the 17th best team in the Premier League. Like we kind of have been.
Thing is, if you finish 13th or 12th, oh my God, you sort of change that perception a little bit to a degree. You finish 17th and you win a Europa League, you're gone.
I mean, to even compare it to West Ham finished something like 16th or 15th, I remember, but they won the Conference League. But I remember people were calling for David Moyes' head that season. They could not accept, finishing that low in the league table, even though they won that trophy. Richarlison! Can we muster a comeback, please? Finally, we score one. Richarlison
He's only had
does
10
score
chances.
this time.
Come on, Richie!
He does finally score one, Rich.
Right, let's see if we can go and get another now. Come on, let's see if we can rescue this. We've had more than enough chances to take a point away from this game.
Oh,
more than
100%.
enough.
You have to question the forward line tonight.
Come on, Richie.
Forward line has had a bazillion chances.
Yeah, they've had a bazillion in them. Fuck me, he's took one. Thank God.
And Dave, and we've also had the ones that have been, incredibly saved off the line or incredible saves from themselves.
Yeah. Look, we should be, but this is the thing, we just don't take what we deserve a lot of the times. Sometimes, it's a great finish that from
How does he finish that one, but then not the others? Fucking hell, man.
Yeah,
that was the hardest of that was the hardest of the headers.
Come on, let's go. Let's see if we can go and get the equalizer. Let's see if we can fashion another chance here. Just don't allow them to slow the ball down. Don't allow the ball to go out of play. Get on the ball and go at them.
I'd be really curious to take a look at the XG after this game.
Oh, look, we've created the better chances, Jack. We've had so many balls, I swear, flash across the box.
Yeah.
So many swipes at the ball. We've had more than enough to get something out of this game. That's the frustrating thing. Again, this is another recurring theme. Just even when we do create, we just don't take enough to be able to get what we deserve out of games. And when your defense switches off the way it does, it's a double barrel problem.
And you've just summarized, Dave, probably a million games that we've seen this season. I think that's how you would summarize how a lot of these games have gone. Everything that you just said there.
It's just like, it's just a double-ended problem at this point. Where do you even start to fix it? You know what I mean?
Like, just your reflection, that summary that you gave, like, how many times have we said that this season?
Yeah.
About a lot of other games. I think you're spot on. Core. Good pass. Get rid of it,
Get out way,
Get rid of it, Bergs.
Free, right. Get it down, Spence. Let's go. He's just got to move that on quickly while they're all committing up the field.
He's got to get that to tell. I don't know why he took an extra touch. You know that Ryan Yates is going to pull you down, too. Of all the players, you could put your house on him pulling you down there.
Trinidad said that was cross number 48 into the box for Richarlison's goal. If that's true, that's fucking unbelievable. It's definitely not true. Definitely not.
Tottenham have had 20 shots to Forest 4. Forest, I'd say Forest are one of the most clinical teams I've ever seen, in the Premier League. Like, they create not that many chances, but they bury them. And compared to us, like, we have open net goals that we miss.
Come on, someone get free. Tread that ball in there. And then use the momentum. Stop passing it sideways.
Oh, my gosh. So negative from all four players
there. Use the momentum here.
Get it to Ben.
Get on your
Ben,
bike,
find a pass. Find a pass.
Right, let's go, Tal. Get it out. Just get it in. You don't need that fancy.
That's all right.
It's blocked.
Let that go through. Ben,
Davies,
stop with the long shots. How many times have we gone for these hero shots like that? That is such a waste.
Why is he shooting?
Waste.
Why is
he
he
doing?
Shooting?
Ben Davies, holy fuck, man. You're like 30 years old. What are you going for that for, man? You have all the options in the world around you. Fucking hell, that's so selfish.
Unbelievable.
What the hell?
Our decision making is just shocking.
It's 1 minute before even out of time. What are you doing?
I know. It's madness. Just take a touch, recycle it, get it back in the box. It's what we scored
had one of those as well earlier when he went for the long shot. When it's the last thing you should do there. The last thing you should do there. Fucking hell. Everyone was forward as well. Jesus, Ben Davis. Fucking hell.
Ah, Johnson, he's made a bitch of you. My lord. 5 minutes, come on. It's simple. Get the ball out wide, put the ball in the box. The game plan is simple right now. We don't need this 20 touches. Come on, move it out to Tell. No. Right. Let's go, Burpal. Oh.
Get turned.
Bentacore has to pass the Porro. He has to direct them. Porro delivers it, and it's a shit ball. Richie! Oh, please get
Richie
it.
wrestling. Well done, Rich. Sir, how have you given a foul? How on earth have you given a
Here
foul?
we go. Here comes the physio.
Dude, Ben Davis, man, he might have killed the game there. He killed all the momentum for us there by taking that shot. We were putting them under the pressure.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, Ben Davis. Oh my God, that actually probably out of all the moments tonight that have made me angry, that might have made me the angriest.
Yeah.
I would have slugged him.
And like the thing is, we've lost that many games. Like, even tonight you could go unlucky, but when does it become not unlucky? Do you know what I mean? It's happened to us this many times. Yeah, exactly. When does it become not unlucky?
Oh, it's at this point it can't be unluckiness anymore. It's just self-sabotage by our own players and plenty of times to agree Ange Postecoglou. How long did it take him to make a change in midfield?
You argue maybe you make that 5 minutes sooner. Do you get point? Porro, don't you stare. Just give him the ball. No, he has to walk around petulant. Just give him the fucking ball and let them get on with it. We're still one down. I'd love nothing better to put a dagger in there, Knight, please.
Oh my God, man, we deserve a point from this game. We do.
Yeah, but like I said,
even the two goals that Forrest scored were our own mistakes.
Yeah.
Oh, man, oh my God, I want to strangle Ben Davies for that.
I need to get up a mountain. I need to get to the top and scream. Right, ref, they've wasted a whole minute here.
They're looking to go to the corner. They're going to go to the corner. They're going to go to the corner. Oh, he's just skipping past 4 players. Fucking hell.
Can we get some pressure on here, please? Please get out.
No, he misreads it. All right, boys. Right. 3 minutes.
Some composure here. We just need one right decision.
Good ball.
Good ball. Porro, just feed it on. Ref.
Good touch,
that's a free.
Johnson.
Right, put this in the box.
Good touch, Johnson.
Can't believe Toffolo's doing the diving emoji. Is he taking the piss? Richie, don't start with him now.
They are a shithouse team, Forrest.
Yeah, let's waste another 30 seconds setting this up. Can we get on with it? Come on, Danzo. Come on, Danzo. Please. Oh, my God. Is Johnson really calling referee in here? Can we get on with it? Forget about asking for it. Just get on with it at this point.
Oh. Tell. Oh, man. Wrong option. Take it down the byline, whipping across. Oh, terrible ball again for Bentancur. How many of those have we seen for Bentancur tonight? How many giveaways from Bentancur tonight?
And these are simple balls just to tee up across. Do you know what I mean? We're not asking for anything spectacular. That's the game now. Oh, Spence, nice one. He's won a throw-in. Might get one last opportunity.
Please, boys.
Vicario, get away from Danzo. Come on, Danzo.
Oh, risky.
Risky.
No one was coming towards him. No one was coming towards him to show for the ball.
Get up, Porro. Porro, get that fuck up. This guy is... Oh, my God.
He's giving that as a throw-in, not a free kick. That's a throw-in, not even a free kick. Fucking hell.
Oh my God, Davey, slow as a wet week. No, I can't watch this shit any longer. I can't watch this shit. It's just error-ridden, stupid, petulant mistakes all the time. Chasing a game, and you give them a
Ben
free
Davis
kick right
ruined
in the
every chance
corner.
we had there of getting back into this game
Ben
and potentially
Davies went to
fasting another
court being
chance. I'm sorry, he
anonymous.
did. The most unnecessary, ridiculous shot to ever. He's never even scored a goal like that. Fucking hell. Like,
We're just, I can't watch.
that
I
was the
can't watch
worst
this any
decision of
longer.
all the. I mean, I think we've seen some of the worst decision making and execution of anything, but that was that was unbelievable.
Another one, another free
Petulant
kick.
challenge
Oh
from
my
Tell.
God. See, this
We are
is where we just
morons.
don't.
11
We
morons on
just
the
don't
pitch.
help ourselves. We just make such stupid, naive mistakes. We let our frustrations get the better of us. Our execution on some of the basics is absolutely piss poor. It's just such a shit show. Honestly, it looks like they've never been coached in their fucking life. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. Look, we can sit here, we can go unlucky, we tried, we deserve something out of this game. At the end of the day, it's a common theme all fucking season long. Concede early goals, put yourself under pressure, try and chase the game, and we create enough chances, but we don't take them. It's a double-ended problem. I am absolutely fed up of watching this shit. At the end of the day, some people may tune in and go, Dave, that's harsh, winner Europa League semi-final and that. I get it. But me, I'm sick of losing games. I'm absolutely fed up with it. And then we don't help ourselves. We're giving away stupid free kicks in the corner when we know we have to try and win the ball back fairly and go up the other end and create a chance. Ben Davies taking a shot. That guy has never scored one of them in his life, and he thinks now when we're chasing a game is the fucking moment. It's absolutely bizarre. Some of the decision making is fucking shocking. You're seeing players a simple layoff so that they can cross it in first time. It's over, hit, under, hit, too far ahead of them. 20 yards left, 20 yards to the right. Simple cushion headers are going out left and right. I'm absolutely fed up with it. Today, we done this to ourselves. We done it to ourselves. Defensively, we switched off earlier on. Took us 20 minutes to fucking wake up. 3 goals. And then all of a sudden, we start playing. Put balls in left, right, and centre, and we can't get people on the end of them. Yeah, they had a great clearance, and Matt Sells put off a great save. But what about the ones where we've been flashing them across, we're begging for it to be touched home, and there's no one there, we're putting it wide, shanking. From 1 to 11, it's just been absolutely error-ridden. Then you're looking at, okay, the substitutions. I understand making the substitutions at half-time, giving Romero, Van der Ven a rest. I can understand that. But why leave it so late to make substitutions through the middle when we are getting overrun and we were shit in possession as well is beggar's belief. Why keep picking Pedro Porro when he's a fucking target and a problem? The thing is, he set that today by that piss poor header from the corner kick straight into the danger zone. It's the one thing you're taught. Honestly, some of the stuff I'm watching out here, I'm sitting there and I'm going, when I was growing up playing football, coaches at the amateur level, they're telling you not to do this, and there's these guys doing it. It's absolutely fucking insane. And I'm at the point, I've just got fed up of losing games. I've absolutely fed up with it. And at the end of the day, I can't take this next season. I just can't. Look, win me the Europa League, and let's take it from there at the end of the day, because I can't, and then make a decision from there, because right now, I'm at the point, I can't watch this next year. We watched Nuno Espirito Santo, who we chased out of this football club in 3 months, in 3 fucking months, turn up here today and rob us. And they weren't even great today. They
No, they
scored their
weren't.
2 goals and sat
They
back
weren't
and
anything
take the lead.
special.
They weren't even anything special. It's absolutely embarrassing. And look, do you know what? Again, this is an indictment of how the 2 football clubs are run. One owner has went and fucking spent beyond these means to make sure they stay in the Premier League and try and push on, because he wants to try and be successful with his team. He wants to try and win trophies. And they sold youth players and whatever else to find a way around it. They took a fucking gamble. We will never spend beyond our means. We're bringing average players, and all of a sudden we've swapped teams with a team that's come up from the Championship but down there for 21 years. This club is one big mess. Honestly, it's one big mess at this point, and I don't even know how we get out of it, Jack. Usually, I don't like being like negative. If I criticize something, I try and point out what they should be doing or pathway forward. Where do you even start? You know, you can change the manager. Conte's already told us that ain't going to work. And to a degree, he's been proven right. You know, it's still going to take 200-300 million to start bringing in the right players to really kick this on the football pitch. You know. You could change manager, that might not even work. Like, where do we even go? Do you start addressing the back line? Do you start addressing the forward line? Do you start addressing midfield? Where do you even start? It's like we spent all this money on what? We still go into next summer. We still need nearly 11 fucking players. Where do you even start with this football club? And again, we win a game on the weekend. You go into a European semi-final. Just build on the positivity. You're lucky to still even have us here at this point in the season with no games we've lost watching this shit. Build on it. What do? 5 minutes into the game, it's all sucked out of everybody again. It's unbelievable. It makes it so hard to really sit here and just happy clap behind this club. And at the end, that's all I want to do as a fan. I just want to sit here and enjoy it. I can't enjoy this, man. I just can't. It's hurting now. It's actually getting to the point. It's hurting. I don't even know what's left and right anymore. I don't even know what's right and wrong anymore.
We're just self-sabotage FC, Dave. We are. It's just from the beginning with the two errors, Pedro Porro, Vicario, Van de Ven, the goals that we conceded there, self-sabotage, the team can't even defend, two basic chances and moments from Forest. And then after that, like, to be honest, after the first 20 minutes, what did Forest really even do after that first 20 minutes? They just sort of locked up shop, barely even threatened our goals. Maybe Morgan Gibbs-White had another opportunity when Ben Davis came on in the pitch. But apart from that, like, they pretty much had nothing, for the rest of the game. And then Spurs just created a host of chances to get back into the game, and they couldn't take them. But there's so many times that we've said that, where we do look a bit open at the back. We do look like we're capable of conceding, at any sort of period, because we just don't have any. There's no solidity in us. And like we said, they're self-sabotaging themselves, with Vicario, Pedro Porro. And then when we go up front, you look at Richarlison, missed in a host of chances, only scores then, the hardest chance of the game. The hardest chance of the game, he ends up scoring. You look as well as a Matisse Tell, who I thought had an all right game, but at the end of the day, he also missed an absolute sitter. Doesn't even get it on target. Plenty of times when Spurs should have gotten a shot on target, it ends up petering out of play for a goal kick or a throw in. You look at this team. It's just watching self-sabotage out there. And then also even Ange Postecoglou, like the substitutions that were made. Like, I kind of get taking off Romero. Did he need to take off Van de Ven? I'm not sure. He could probably have rested Van de Ven, maybe even for the Liverpool game. But where the changes really needed to be made was in that midfield. And he kept on Bentancur for the entire match. Bentancur was an absolute terrorist out there. I'm sorry. This guy was not helping us at all. Should have taken off Pedro Porro by whatever means. Bring on Archie Gray. Just bring on anybody, literally. Just allow anybody to play at right back. And they would have done better than Pedro Porro had. And you look as well at Kulusevski and Pop Matasar. They were anonymous for this game. And even Pop Matasar had one or two moments where he could have probably gotten an assist or scored himself, but he found a way to even cock it up in some sort of manner. The fact he even
stayed on for so long, he was having a nightmare.
So it's just self-sabotage, Dave. Everyone from the manager to the players, just self-sabotage. It's just, we are our own worst enemy. Absolutely our own worst enemy. I'm
actually at the point, Jack, we just need a new manager, a new signings, and a new owner. We just need freshness. We just need new. I'm fucking fed up, my man. I'm fed up. My dad's in the chat. What's he saying? Big up the old lad. He says, team sit back and give us the ball, and we still can't score. We are a laughing stock. I couldn't let Ange anywhere near. I wouldn't let Ange anywhere near semi-final. Look, the reality is, I think there's many people out there that feel like you. Even coming into the quarterfinals, people are saying, look, sack him, bring in someone like Harry Redknapp. You know what I mean? It's just becoming unbearable to watch. It really is. And I hate the fact that they can just turn up for a game in Europe. And the reality is, they were just defensively more solid. And we got lucky by a moment of madness from their goalkeeper. But this is the problem. Teams give us the ball knowing that we're just never going to score. Just never going to score. They know that. Today, how many chances do we have, even in the first half, to even just go in 2-1 down and still have some sort of hope heading into the second? You don't take them. All of a sudden, it's a much more daunting task. You're 45 minutes to try and score 2 goals. And we find scoring goals hard at the best of times. I've seen us break away 4-on-3 and we still fuck it up. It's absolutely unbelievable. I've been trying to hit on this for 2 years now. The forward line is just not good enough. When you sign relegation fodder, players that have dropped down to the Championship and we've saved them and given them a Premier League survival, and then you're signing young players. It's a recipe for disaster. You don't have one, like, honestly, I can't forgive what we've done where we broke up one of Europe's most elite forward lines, one that struck fear into any opposition, to the point where the saying came about, on their day, Tottenham can beat fucking anybody. It's not the case anymore because we are so drab going forward and the whole Premier League knows it. That's why they set up the way they do against us. You just block up the spaces, they ain't going to score, pump the ball down Pedro Porro's side or put the ball around Porro, you're going to get a gift. You're going to get an absolute gift. It's come to a point where it's so easy to play against us. This isn't even intelligent, this is just basics. You know what I mean? It's absolutely unbelievable. But Ange doesn't help himself. You keep picking a player that everyone's targeting. I mean, what do you expect? You're making the game harder for yourselves to a certain degree. But this forward line is absolutely shocking. Richarlison missing from 2 yards. Yeah, he took his chance in the end. But how many fucking chances do you need? He had like 8 chances before that. Shocking.
This was probably one of the best games we've ever seen service-wise. This is probably the most service any forward has ever gotten in a Spurs game.
It's the most service we've seen all season in the 2 years, probably. The most attacking we've been. And we've come out with 1 goal. Shocking.
And we didn't even look like scoring, actually. At a certain point, it actually just looked like the ball wasn't going to go in the net, no matter how many times we flashed it across goal, no matter how many sitters we got, no matter how many even good saves and clearances that Forrest had. It was like, well, we still don't look like scoring just because this team isn't clinical enough. And Forrest had 2 very, very sort of half chances, half moments, and they buried them. Vicario, in my opinion, did awful with both of them. But it's just, again, like this team, man.
But this sums up the football. Where do you lay the blame today? Do you a lot of people are going to blame Ange, and then you're going to have a lot of people that are going to go, no, look, that was unlucky. We just didn't take our chances. But the reality is, this is just a common theme.
That's the same story from every single game.
It's actually one of them games. Where do you put the blame today? It's that bad. You don't even know where to put the blame.
But I feel like we've said that so many times, this season, where, you question a lot of maybe the in-game management from Ange Postecoglou, but then you also question the players, like not taking their moments, not taking their chances, and then switching off, defensively for a lot of goals. And that's the thing.
Like, you can question the in-game management, but then on the other hand, we created a lot of chances. We created more than enough to take something from this game, and we didn't do it. Yeah. So then, you look at it and go, well, is it the in-game tactics, or is it down to the quality? And reality is, it's actually probably both, Jack.
Yeah, I think it is. Oi, oi, oi. Everybody,
honestly,
oi, oi, oi.
Good
Vibes FC is certainly once again being
questioned. Well, that's done.
Yeah.
We're going to be embarrassed next week when Liverpool are going for a Premier League title down at their place. Can't handle a fucking home atmosphere against Forest when they're going for Champions League, let alone going down there and taking another tank in. Honestly, we're heading into Europa League semi-final in just more misery. You can see it. The feel-good factor's gone. They twatted it. Unbelievable.
Dan Coy's from earlier saying, big up Dave and Jack. We go again Sunday. Come on, your Harris Army. Listen, Dan, man, I appreciate that you stick by us and show us this support, brother. I think someone mentioned in the chat, I think it was Trinidad, big up to Trinidad, saying these are becoming draw-salongs.
Yeah, honestly, probably start changing the title.
Dan. Listen, dude, we'll try to pick ourselves up again, but it's just becoming so hard to have to watch. Like I've said, my theme from this season and from today, we are just self-sabotage FC, Dan. Self-sabotage FC. Jerome saying, I swear, what did Forrest do even in this game after they scored the 2 goals? Vicario went asleep in his own goal. Again, we are our own worst enemy. I feel the same way, Jerome. I do. At Forrest, they got their 2 goals. And they're a good enough team to see out the lead for 2 goals. But they took advantage of also maybe what Dave was alluding to. They kind of probably trusted that Spurs aren't going to actually bury their chances. Spurs aren't a clinical team. They're not going to punish you in any way. And they saw the fruits of their labor for that.
The thing is, there has to be a recognition. They came here looking for an early goal to sit back. Not only did we give them 1, we gave them 2 and nearly 3. After that, they're never, ever going to come out, look to press us. They're going to sit in. It's the way Nuno is. He's not going to say, do you know what, go for the throats, let's go and get 3 and 4. I'm going to protect what I have. We know that. We had him as manager, And the fact is, that they can go, let's invite them on us, they're never going to score. Talk about Nottingham fucking Forest here. Spent 21 years down in the Championship.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
We're our own worst enemy, FC, Jerome, and we're self-sabotage FC. Vicario had absolute shocker today. Pedro Porro, absolute shocker today. Bentancur, absolute shocker today. Richarlison, despite scoring the goal, absolute shocker today. Pamatasar as well. So many players, man, absolute howlers from them. It's just we're our own worst enemy, like you say. Then Faz Radfar saying, disappointing, but hard to believe we didn't deserve to win this game. I think the issue that we're struggling with, Faz, is, believe me, I agree. I think we should have gotten something from this game. Maybe could have even won this game when you actually look at the chances, when you look back on them. But I've been saying that a lot of times this season. So then something has to give, or you have to go maybe deeper, I guess, where we've just said that so many times this year, where you could chop it down to just being, oh, unlucky, we just weren't there on the day, didn't take our opportunities. But we've said that so many times this year, man. Like,
Exactly.
it goes deeper than that. You're like, okay, well, then clearly these players aren't good enough to be able to take moments, to be able to be sharp enough, to be able to be composed enough, to be able to put away these opportunities and these chances. And then you just also have to look at, kind of maybe some of the substitutions or whatnot as well. Like when there were players out there like that were pretty much hurting us, Pedro Porro, Bentancur, Sarr, took way too long for us to make those changes. Way, way too long. And then even also like Faz, I'm sorry, like Ben Davis at the end there, man, that
No.
still is on the back of my head.
That's
that's defining moment of the self-sabotage, and I'm going to continue to repeat about. Like, what the hell are you even doing there? Spurs just scored a goal to get back into the game, and then when you have your entire team forward and the ball is bouncing towards you, he goes for like a Roberto Carlos effort, half volley, whatever that was, and he's ballooning it into the stands. Like, Ben Davis is never scoring that goal in his life. Also, as well, there was even a Forest player closing him down. So all he needed to do was just pop it around to the 4 open players that were in front of him. To go for the effort there was unbelievable. And people call this guy a leader. They say he should be stuck around. It's just an example to me, Faz Radfar, of just this team hurts themselves so much. It is
but we're going to get a new
to
contract.
watch.
Getting a new contract. That's the unbelievable thing about it. There today, even before that, Jack, he nearly cost us a third goal.
Yeah.
He lost the header out to Gibbs White and then stands there looking around and then goes, oh shit, Gibbs White is gone, I better go. He's caught ball watching. This is the problem. Some of these players ain't good enough. Look, at the end of the day, right, there's been this stat banded around all season. Ange Postecoglou, look at the amount of games we've lost by 1 goal, as if it's a good indictment of Postecoglou. At the end of the day, it's still one big fat L. It doesn't matter whether it's by 1 or by 3. But when you look at that, I mean, is there any wonder? We sold Harry Kane, who the season we sold him, put 22 points on the board with equalisers and winners. The thing is, he put points on the board. We don't have that guy anymore. Everyone goes, oh, look, we're spreading it out.
Harry Kane would have had a hat trick tonight.
This is the thing, everyone goes, oh,
Any half-decent striker, not even Harry Kane would have had Chris Wood would have had a hat trick tonight.
But what drives me mad, though, Jack, is it's like we are so reluctant to sit here and go, do you know what? We made one big, massive boo-boo. We pivot to everyone spreading it out. The reality is you go back to when Harry Kane was still bagging 20, 30 goals. Some was bagging nearly 20. Your right winger was bagging about 10. Your midfielders were bagging 5 apiece. Your centre-backs were chipping in. Even fucking Matt Doherty and Emerson were scoring. Do you know what I mean? Everyone was always chipping in. But the reality is we're losing games by 1 goal because we don't have that guy to bail us out. We sold him for 100 million, and combined with Richarlison and Solanke, we spent 125 million, and we've got fucking worse. You can't write it. You cannot make this shit up. This club, at some point, the way we operate, is a comedy stretch. You sell your best striker for 100 million, and you spend 125 million to replace it, and it's fucking worse. And that's the result of it tonight. How many games have we lost by 1? And the reason is because we can put the ball in the box all you want. We can create chances all you want. We don't have the strikers that are good enough to take them. And that's just the harsh reality of it. But I'm not surprised. We just want to cover it up because we can't sit here and go, do you know what? We fucked up royally. We have fucked up absolutely massively. We can't do that. We can't do that at Tottenham. At some point, we have to look at this, look at that. Let's have a bit of nuance. Let's maybe look at this here. It's bollocks. It is black and white. It's simple. You fucked up. Sort it. It's not difficult. Sort it out. And again, what pisses me off, you bring in defensive managers and you give them Dyer, Sanchez and shit to work with while having one of the best forward lines. Then you bring in an attacking manager, you rip your forward line apart and you give them what I would argue are still decent players to work with at the back line. You can't write it. Honestly, you cannot write it. We get everything muddled up and in a mess. You get rid of one manager, you sign players, you're like, make it work. He doesn't. You bring in another man. And all of a sudden, we're getting back to the same point we got into where we were under Steve Hitchin. You keep chopping and changing managers. You've got a squad that resembles 4 or 5 different regimes, and it's a complete fucking shit show. We'll end up back there if we don't rectify it this summer. Reality is we can sit and we can talk about in-games, players not doing this. It all started with the shit summer. It all started there. It's where it unfolded.
But I agree, man. We did deserve to win this game. It's just, we've said that so many times this season, Faz. It's almost like I feel like I need to look a little bit deeper. I'm not saying you're not. That's just, you get my point. I think, it's
Yeah,
just
big up,
we
Faz.
do sabotage ourselves. Al Ben saying we're lucky one of the bottom three didn't make a fight. Yeah, it. We were bringing up earlier, potentially we kind of are the 17th worst team in the Premier League this season. The way we sort of spurn chances, the way we also concede goals so easily from mistakes or just from just kind of easy ways to attack us. Like it's just there's so many issues with this team. The Premier League has royally exposed this team. We are just getting exposed on a regular basis. But then also when we do play well enough to get something from the game, when we do play well enough to potentially win the game, we just can't. We just can't. We're just not good enough at the end of the day. We're not good enough to be
No.
able to get back into these games because we just don't have the players. We don't have the mentality. We just waste chance after chance after chance, expecting that the game is going to be like 300 minutes long or something like that. We'll eventually get back into it. Again, I'll just say that Ben Davies fucking moment there. Like, what is he? It's the last chance of the game. It's the last chance of the game just after scoring. And he's going for a hero strike from 40, 50 yards out. Unbelievable to me. Like this
You are
team,
what you
man,
become.
they don't have the discipline and just the wherewithal in any situation. They're just constantly sabotaging themselves.
Well, when you buy bang average players, Jack, that's what happens. They can't
Yeah.
do things consistently. That's why
And they
quality matters.
can't do
It
what you would
absolutely
expect of
matters.
someone. Can't do what you
Look,
would expect of someone.
look, we've had debates around Madison. Some think he's great, some think he's shit. The reality is, we bought him from the Championship. We gave him another Premier League lifeline. You're going to get that when you're buying these players that are on it one week, not on it the next week. You bring Udebur, great, I think great talent. But again, was that what we needed here and now when we already had a massive problem on the right wing last season with Brennan Johnson? No. But again, he's another player that we gave a Premier League lifeline to. He's down in Championship. Dom Solanke, his whole career has been fighting down the bottom. But yet we saw Larry Kane, you're our fucking guy. Same with Richarlison, fighting down the bottom. Yep, you come in here, no problem. Brennan Johnson, Nottingham Forest sold him to us, and they've kicked on. So he can't be that fucking great, can he?
They've replaced him with
Look what
better
they've
players.
got rid of, and look at the wingers that they've brought in, and then yet we're sitting here debating whether Johnson's half Brazilian or not. Honestly, I'm absolutely fucking fed up with it. The reality is, the reason why we're having these debates is because they're all bang average shit. We are where we deserve to be. You rip your best forward line apart. You spend over the odds to try and fix that on relegation fodder, and we're sitting here wondering why we can't, why we are where we are, because we bought it. We've bought to be here. You spend, at the end of the day, I'm a firm believer. You are what you spend. You spend the right money on the right areas, you become a good team. You piss about with it and you try to do the cheap things. The reality is that 125 million we spent on Solanke and Richarlison, that would have gone out and got us the next best striker in the world.
Yeah, could have gotten us a Gurkeresh, could have gotten us plenty of Isaac, could get you plenty of good players with that. So frustrating, man. And then also I believe as well we had DG saying we had 22 shots. Sheesh. I think someone said as well the XG was 2.6. Like, I don't think we've actually had better service. This is one of the best games from our wingers. This was one of the best days, from our wide areas. They were just firing crosses in plenty of times. They skilled past one or two players, the likes of Matisse Tell, Odebear, and they whipped in a good cross. There are other stages where we turned the ball over and we actually did get into decent chances in the midfield, only for it to be wasted by Sarr or Bentancur. Kulu had one or two as well that he just wasted in good areas. It's just, this team. Yeah.
The fact we had, 20 shots. The fact we only forced one save out of Saz on one that last ditch defending. That's your problem. Yeah. How many actually went on target?
Oh, so many wasted, man. So many wasted moments in this game, DG. We are just, like I said, just sabotage ourselves, and we just don't look like getting back into games because we're just a team that just wastes chance after chance. It's frustrating as well. It's really hard to sit here and watch a team just waste chances like that on such a regular basis, and it's not anything new. We've seen them do it all season. We've seen them doing it all season.
Yeah.
Artist T saying Bodo Glimt and Liverpool are licking their lips after tonight. Terrible all around. I looked at the table, and in the 22-23 season, Leicester City had 34 points. So maybe in other seasons we could have gotten relegated, as I think Artist T's point. Followed up by saying we're so lucky. If it weren't for goal difference, if this was that season, we really would have been in a relegation battle on the last day.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing at all.
No,
Artistry. I
you
think
can't.
we said that even a couple of months ago, to be fair. Like, I think we're just beneficiaries of Southampton being arguably, what is it, like tied worst ever Premier League team, I think, or something like that. Leicester City, they've been absolutely shocking. When you buy Oliver Skip and Harry Winks to save your season, that's just already, writing the story there. And what is it as well? Ipswich Town, like it was going to be a tall, tall order for Ipswich Town to go from, what was it, League Two or League One to the Championship, then to the Premier League, and also then survive the Premier League, which is arguably the hardest thing to do, to even go from League One to the Championship and make, that many promotions and what they did. It was too much to ask, I think, of them to end up staying in the Premier League. So we are actually very, very lucky that Leicester City sabotaged themselves with their terrible recruitment, also bringing in a bad manager in Steve Cooper. Southampton just being an awful team that was probably never going to stay up. And then the likes of Ipswich Town, just like I said, maybe just too much progression, too quickly, that, they didn't really stand much of a chance either. Crazy thing is that we've actually lost to those teams as well. So, I mean, we are a very, very lucky side this year. Artistry, that's, can't disagree with you, man.
The thing is as well, right? You take Bodo Glimt, for instance. If they were coming up against, another Premier League team, they would be cautious. They ain't gonna be cautious against us. They're licking their lips. They're looking at the draw just as much as we're licking their lips. We're licking our lips, going, "Oh, we have avoided one, like, not getting Man United or letting Cup about." You think they aren't doing the exact same thing? Of course they are. They're absolutely delighted they got Tottenham because they know we are capable of a slip up against the shittest of teams. And I'm not calling them shit. I actually, put a bit of respect on them. I think credit to them. Becoming the first Norwegian side to reach a European semi-final is no mean feat. They're a well-run club. They're all committed to what they're being asked to do. They execute the basics and stuff like that. You're absolutely spot on. They are licking their lips coming up against us. I could bet your bottom dollar they will look to sit in at home and they will fancy themselves, or they will sit in when we're at home and they will fancy themselves away from home. If I'm their manager, I'm saying to my team, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, sit in. They're not going to score. They're just not going to score. Sit in, make it difficult, get out, put pressure on the ball where you can, etc. After that, we'll take them on our home pitch. That's their game plan. And they've got mental coaches and everything else, things that we think we don't need at Tottenham. Absolutely mind-boggling. Look, Bodo Glimt ain't going to be easy. And if you lose this game, which we did today, and you lose the Liverpool one, and we take a tanking up there, you're not going into that game in a very good place whatsoever. Postecoglou said it today. What's the best preparation for the Europa League against Bodo Glimt? Winning games.
Yeah, playing well, winning games. I mean, I think
potentially we're going into that game off the back of 2 losses.
Like I said, we created moments in this game, but just the goals that we conceded and then the goals that the chances that we wasted, like, it just, I don't know if a team gathers confidence from that. Like, you'd think the team actually would, again, sort of have their heads sort of, shrunk and have their shoulders shrunken over, because you're wasting chances like that and you're conceding moments like that, like with Vicario and whatnot. I think that does kill some confidence, in the team. Yep. I think it does.
I just want to take Leighton Evelyn quickly as well. He says, "I bet Ange says we were unlucky." Look, to be honest with you, I sort of expect our manager to come out and say that he's not going to berate the players that he wants to fight for him. It's just not going to happen. But I'll be honest, I just don't want to hear it. At the end of the day, for me, oh, we were unlucky, or the footballing gods. I'm sorry, it's just.
You can only say that. You can only have that excuse.
When are we just going to deal with the elephant in the room? It's the quality. We made a massive boo-boo. Let's just deal with the elephant in the room. It's nothing to do with unlucky. It's nothing to do with fucking the footballing gods. How many more times are you going to keep writing that off? Losing by 1 goal. Oh, we were unlucky. No, we just don't have the quality. We just do not have the quality. Simple. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any of them excuses come out today. If you're going to say something, just come out and say, look, we don't have the quality. It's that simple. Come out and tell the truth.
Tomorrow, everybody, we are going to be doing a watch-along, or not a watch-along, sorry, a review of the game. Dave and I will torture ourselves watching the million chances that we wasted. We'll analyze the mistakes from Vicario, from Pedro Porro. So do join us over on Big Up tomorrow. By the way, you do help the channel out a lot, help everything that Dave and I are trying to do. And it's also just a good way to recap games, and if anything we missed or anything we got wrong, or even to confirm anything that we might have said during this, I think it's a good opportunity, and a good place to do that. And it's also a type of content that we just can't do over here on YouTube. So encourage you guys to join us over there. And like I said, if you want to help us out in any other ways, it is a great way to help us out by following us over to Big Up. It's a highlight reaction. We get to look at all the clips, all the different moments in the game. We'll look at all 22 shots that Spurs ended up wasting in this game, and we'll be able to dissect them further and be able to wrap it up in a nice little ugly bow after tonight's performance and tuck it away, tuck it behind us, and then move on to the next one. But please, everybody, join us over there because, like I said, if you thought we got anything wrong or if there's anything that you agreed with that you want to maybe see back again after a night's sleep, it is a great place to follow us over to. So join us over tonight or tomorrow on Big Up. Twitter Reacts will come out tomorrow as well. Follow us on Twitter at theirishyid. We're also trying to upload more clips and whatnot to TikTok, Instagram, Twitter as well. So follow us on all those social platforms, please. You know, any of Dave's great points that he's made. Occasionally, I sometimes make an okay point as well. Please follow us over there, and you'd be able to watch back any clips and things like that. And also look out for them on YouTube. So Twitter Reacts will be out tomorrow, and join us for that live stream, please. Any other things I'm missing, Dave?
No, I think you've summed it up pretty well. I wouldn't mind that Harry
Fan
Crane.
cams, if you want to send those in, I can upload tonight or tomorrow for you guys. But yeah, sorry, cut across.
I was just thinking there, I wouldn't mind that Harry Kane segment, you know, the losing by 1 goal in the Harry Kane segment. I think that's a valuable piece to put around because I just think we're looking at this situation wrong. We're looking at trying to find a way out of it rather than just say we made a mistake and it needs to be fixed. I think you fix that, you solve half of our problems to a certain degree, especially when it comes to the Premier League. But look, guys, again, you know, the happy clapping time, short-lived once again. Oh, it's really pissed me off. And do you know what? It's only pissed me off because I care so much. That's the thing. But look, it's just another defeat.
Testing good
21
vibes,
or 22 this season. We can't just keep sitting here going, it's unlucky. We're not taking what we deserve. At some point, it's just not working, and you just got to face facts. But look, as usual, we roll on. We'll be back here again next week. Let's see what they can do. But guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Break it all down. Probably have some sort of panel show tomorrow evening as well, hopefully.
Yeah, also panel show.
And speak to you all then. Have a good evening.
Artist T, by the way, as we finish off, saying, I've watched Bodo Glimt. They have belief and never accept the defeat. They lost a game 4-1 and still had 6 shots on goal. This has been a year for cup sets. And he's saying, look at Leverkusen, Liverpool, Brentford. Yep. That could easily be us next.
That's why I'm not getting carried away. I'm not going to sit here and say we should smash them up. We should pump them. I'm very cautious. You know, when you've seen me since we found out, I'm very hesitant to sit here and go, oh, we should pump them. We should do this. We should do that. Theoretically, if you're looking at the two names and, you know, the stature in world football, you would say so. The reality is, though, one team's having a fucking hell of a season. The other one's having a dismal season. You know what I mean? And I'm not going into that taken for granted. How can I? I'm well aware. I constantly highlight it. You know, Ricky Sachs made a joke last night. He says, you know, when Dave talks about Europe, he's got all the teams we've, you know, just on his brain rattling off that we've lost to. It's embarrassing. You know what I mean? And it's the truth. That's why I can't sit here going into these games. You know, once upon a time I would have, maybe young, bit naive, bit enthusiastic, but I can't go into these games anymore. Not, you know, especially the way things have panned out. If this was under Pochettino, and I think that was part of my problem, you know, I was still living off the Pochettino years, being a bit arrogant, you know, I'll slowly come around to accept we just ain't that. We're far away from it at this point. And reality is we can be tripped up by anybody. You go and lose a game to NS Mora, anyone you come up against is going to lick your lips. That sets the standard. If teams like that, a guy, you know, who's had to work from 9 to 5 in the factory, is probably being transported by a local taxi to get to the stadium that evening just to go and play the game, and they're outrunning us, outfighting us, showing more quality than us. We wonder why we're here. I mean, it's absolutely embarrassing. These defeats shouldn't happen, and that's why when I see Bodo Glimt, I'm very hesitant to sit there and go, we're going to pump them, because the reality is, I was there back in, 2011, 12. I walked in the door using it was young boys or go football training. We were doing pretty well. We were going for the league. And I said, you know what? I'll go train. I'll get back for the second half. Young boys, we should be easily 3-0 down when I walked in at halftime. And that sums this fucking football club up.
Yeah, they're good, man. At the end of the day, they are good. And they play a nice brand of football. They have a brilliant manager. They have a lot going for themselves. They've already made history, the chance to make more history. It's a free hit for them. They're going to have every single person in that squad, let alone the starting 11, but every single person in that squad is going to be running through a wall, running through 2 walls,
They're
3
also
walls.
Playing for big moves, more money, more contracts. You know what I mean?
That's a very good point as well. They're playing for their own careers. They have so many good positive things to get behind, whereas Spurs just don't. Like, Spurs are trying to save their season, whereas Bodo Glimt are just trying to gain even more success, even more, credit, even more, positive feedback and whatnot, whatever you call it at this point. But Good Vibes FC is certainly being tested. I was happy clapping on Thursday. Still
I'll
to a
put them in the
degree
back
am, but
pocket in the
they
semi-final.
do take the fucking mick out of you, Spurs. They really do.
Yeah.
But join us tomorrow, everybody. Lots of content coming out tomorrow. So panel show, big upstream, Twitter reacts, lots of it. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Like I said, look out as well for clips and things like that will be uploaded. And also, if you did want to send it in fan cam, if you felt like we got anything wrong, is there anything that you wanted to get off your chest? I'd be happy to upload that for you guys as well. Cutoff point would probably, since it's late in the evening, cutoff point would probably be at some stage tomorrow, since we have a lot of other content that we have to do. But I understand it's late for you guys, so send those in, please, when you get around to it. But we'll leave you there, everybody.
Yeah.
Come on, you Spurs, as always. Smash the like button, please, on your way out. And we'll see you very, very soon for plenty of stuff out tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah. Have a good evening.